Welcome back to week 3 of the Elite Series. It's a pleasure to have you with us. It's Excel versus Epsilon, and basically we are ready for this incredible game. Listen, but where this comes down to is all about the picks. So do you know what? We can find out the explainer that will explain everything for you at home. The home team will initially be decided by a toss of a coin, and that team will have the first map veto. The away team will veto the second map. The process then repeats for the next 2 vetoes. After that, the home team will pick the first map. The away team will pick the second map, and the remaining map is discarded.
Hello everyone, we're backstage right now. Barbar and JChem are down here. They're ready to get to business with a veto, try and work their way through and find out what map they're going to be playing in this exciting best of 2 to kick off the 3rd week of the Gfinity Elite Series.
Epsilon gets first pick.
We ban first, yeah?
Yes.
We ban nuke.
Train.
Okay, so this is a big moment.
Yeah, they seem a bit lax. One thing actually I've thought about from the last 2 weeks, both teams have picked the same map twice. So
yep.
Excel picked Mirage twice, Epsilon picked Cobble twice. They've both lost their picks.
Okay, maybe they'll mix it up this week.
So nuke ban for Epsilon seems standard because they destroyed Method on it. Train ban, not surprised. Smooya mentioned that on the desk here last week. He said, people don't like playing train against us. I really like playing train. That's not surprising, in my mind at least. I'm expecting something to be like
Mirage.
Cash or Mirage from them now.
I'm thinking Overpass maybe for Epsilon.
Inferno.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Really, I think they want to get the AWPs to work. Cobble going, I think, is good for Excel. It does
They
take
don't
a
want
little
to
bit
risk
of muzzle, but yeah,
Cobble
of course.
pick.
Yeah, of course.
Just in case
Yeah.
Epsilon have been bluffing the entire time,
Yeah.
losing deliberately,
Yeah.
and are ready to play
Would make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah, they're losing on that map. Damn it. Don't want it anyway. Didn't want to win. It's all good.
Excel last night were actually saying they kind of would have liked to play Inferno. So to see it get banned is kind of, I suppose it could be disappointing. So we can assume that's is that Mirage pick for Epsilon or is it Mirage for Excel?
That is Epsilon picking Mirage, so that's going to happen. So then it's the big important one. What have Excel gone for? If they wanted Inferno, as you say, SEO.
It's already gone. So Overpass.
I don't think it'll be Overpass.
What's less? Cash.
Yeah, I think it'll be Cash.
Probably Cash.
Cash makes sense.
Yeah. For their style of play. Ooh,
Really?
Overpass.
We should
That's
do the right
pulled
way
it out for
around.
you.
Okay.
Not
Is it the
expecting.
right way around?
I feel like it's the other way around.
Yeah, I feel like it is the other way around. But if it's
Based
not,
on-
that's interesting. I mean, I would understand a Cobble ban from Epsilon, and I'd understand an Overpass pick. And
Yeah, I think it's Epsilon pick Overpass.
Yeah.
Based on previous weeks, at least. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Based
see
on being-
Epsilon taking a Mirage off them. Like, it doesn't seem to make sense. But it's interesting, Excel are still backing their Mirage.
Yeah.
They still believe in it.
Okay. That's fair enough. And
Yeah.
what about Overpass in terms of that gameplay? Can you still do as much AWPing on that? There's various areas made
So
of the map.
Overpass is one of the custom maps. You know, there's a huge amount of opportunity really to just be a really fluid AWPer. So get all around the map. You can get aggressive at the beginning of the round. You can play late round AWP. You can really do an awful lot with an AWP on Overpass. So working in favour, essentially of both teams. Loza is a very different style of play to Smooya. Obviously, Smooya, a really, really aggressive AWPer who wants to get in your face. He wants to do work. Whereas Loza, he's quite happy to sit back, wait for the opportunity to come to him, but he can get aggressive when he wants to. That's the key point, is he can counter that. So I think this should be actually a pretty interesting AWP matchup. Definitely the one to watch.
I think there was a couple of times last week in week 2 when Excel were playing in map train and they had an extra eco round just so they could give Loza that AWPer, and it didn't pay out for that
Yeah,
tactic.
that was something they did quite often. I remember Snods was kind of annoyed about how many times they were saving. Like, I think they saved 3 guns, like, maybe twice. It makes sense to do it, obviously, but at the same time, you're like, it's 3v4. You could possibly still win. Like, they're just not taking the risk. They really want that AWP on maps such as Train, obviously.
So maybe Overpass, we can see more of that AWP,
I think
giving Loza the chance to show you what first kills. He's second in the leaderboard at the moment with Elite Series. So, I mean, maybe that would work. But what about Mirage in terms of that? AWPing again, they like Mirage. They think they've been pretty successful with that.
Yeah, Mirage is quite interesting because I remember in the first matchup they had in week 1, I was kind of annoyed that like Loza didn't get given the AWP on T side, especially. I think it was like round 10 that they gave him an AWP. But it kind of makes sense because they're like, I think that's the last resort for them. If they're not winning using their regular default, their strats, stuff like that, they think, okay, Joe, Lezzo, what can you actually do? So they give him an AWP and let him do what he wants.
Yeah.
Like in Endpoint, for example, I played with Lezzo, and he was very passive, obviously, but he always felt like it was one up on Smooya, which is kind of an interesting thing.
Well, that could play out today. Harold, your prediction for Mirage today? Excel, Epsilon.
Honestly, I have to call this as a series 2-0 to Excel. Now, this is based on Luzzer for me. He has a tendency to get a kill and keep going and try and keep going and going and going, and he struggles to know when to stop. If he can get that right balance between aggression and control, I think this should be Excel 2-0.
Okay, so big talk there from Harold, and I like it, and I'm positive. I supporting the Excel boys, as everyone I would do. I'm impartial as well, but I'm liking those guys just for their bants and good crack that they have. But what about you, Essia? What are you saying today on Mirage?
I'm not too sure about 2-0 for Excel, but I'm thinking 1-1. I'm
thinking
Excel will take Mirage.
Sitting on the fence!
Yeah, I think Excel will take Mirage finally.
Okay. Comfort zone. I need a comfort zone. Can't be wrong. Can't be wrong.
So
I can be wrong.
You will be wrong.
So they're going to put Epsilon as a 1-0, but who do you like from the Epsilon team for Mirage?
Mirage, it's more... I'd say Smooya again, honestly. I feel like it's a battle of the AWPers through this entire series. It's going to be back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be. The AWPs have to come alive, especially in Mirage. You know, mid control is such a key aspect. You have to be fluid. You have to be a little bit original in that mid zone if you want to take control. Smooya is happy to get aggressive, so they have to put something in his way. They have to stop him and say, right, mid, it's ours. Back off, play your game, we're going to win it. And if they can do that, Mirage should go pretty handily to them. Overpass, it's going to be more of a struggle, but I still see it going to Excel. Okay,
now, it's the first time I'm doing this on the Elite Series. Key factors for the first map we're going to see, Mirage. What do they have to do? Like, if you're with Epsilon or Excel, what do you have to do to win this map? If there was a key 3 points maybe for this map, I'll put you on the spot there, SEO.
So obviously, Harold said mid control. That's quite an obvious basic thing. Like, have mid control. There's so many opportunities you can go from there. Second, it'd be kind of maintaining the economy on the CT sides, I'd say. Because obviously, Excel, we saw them have issues CT side through all of last week. I think it's 2 CT rounds Mirage, 5 the next week. Slowly improving. We'll see if it carries on, obviously. And the third one would probably be, I suppose, just maintaining their cool. Like, it's a long game after all. There's no need to get down if you lose a round. Like, don't let your mood affect you, I suppose, would be the best way to put it.
Okay, so just keep your emotions in check for this. And Harold, what about yourself? I mean, you obviously said the mid control. Yeah. Is there anything different to SEO?
Yeah, so mid control, AWP dominance is going to be absolutely key. I mean, this is like air domination in the war. This is the most important thing is the AWP in this battle, honestly. And then after that, it just depends, can the teams back up the AWPers? At the end of the day, if they're consistent, especially if we see Maeve come alive, this should, Epsilon definitely have a foot in the door. I can't take this away from Excel. I feel like, although it's not definitive, this is probably one of the closer games of the day. Yeah, it has to be AWP, mid control, and consistency from the riflers. Okay, beautiful stuff. Listen, the guys that are going to be cast in for us today, the beautiful, delightful Snods and Jackie. Gentlemen, what are you thinking? You heard from what SEO and Harold said there about the mid control. How do you see Excel or Epsilon winning this on Mirage today?
I think Harold just talks nonsense. So,
really?
Yeah, most of that we can put to one side. But I do think it's going to be the 1-1, right? I think we're looking at potentially a 1-1 coming into this.
Maybe it's a hard one, really, because Epsilon on paper are potentially the better lineup, but for Excel, they have been going 1-1 these past weeks. They went 1-1 versus, they got 2-0 by Prophecy and the 1-1 versus Method, right? But you got to remember as well, Method did demolish Excel on Mirage. It was Nuke where they actually got their one map so far in the 2 weeks of the Elite Series.
There's a lot of interesting stuff there, Tom. So it should be close, mate. Should be a good one.
What about your sort of prediction for this then? So you're saying a 1-1, Jackie, or?
I'm going to go for the SEO approach. Yeah, go for the 1-1. Keep it safe.
Don't sit on the fence! Snods, do not sit on the fence!
I reckon 2-0 for Epsilon, to be honest. I think, look at the maps as well. Overpass, Smooya should be dominant on that map. Then again, Luz on the CT side, it does play to his strengths, that more passive style AWPing on the CT side. But Freddie B last week on Mirage versus Method was unbelievable. If he can carry on that performance this week, we could easily be seeing Epsilon taking Mirage and then, obviously, Overpass.
Cheeky.
And what about the star players? When we heard from Harold said earlier, Luzzer being that man, if he can get more of those first kills, can really dominate the round. If the rest of the team step up to the plate, is that who would be your star player for both sides?
Star player both sides. So easy one would be Epsilon. It would be Freddie B, especially on the first map as well. Mirage, I think. Mirage, Freddie B, and then Overpass, Smooya, because obviously AWP dominant map on that CT side especially. But for Excel, Connor for me is really the difference maker on Excel, especially on their T sides as well. If you haven't got Connor popping off, getting entries and opening up the sites, their T sides fall rather flat. I mean, We've cast them before in other UK leagues, and sometimes their T side, not necessarily weak, but it's a bit slower paced. If they don't find those entries in the mid-round, then things can get a bit stale, and you run out of utility. If you haven't got a strong economy to build and play off of that, you can definitely be exposed, especially from a team like Epsilon.
Yeah, I feel like the only issue there is like Connor recently has been struggling a little bit.
He has been, yeah.
And I think it's going to have to come into to Lazar to actually be the big man to step up.
His confidence as well. That's one of the things I think we didn't really see from Connor last week. It wasn't until it was like 15-9 or 14-9 where Connor started to run out A-ramp, started finding those headshot entries onto the sites. And it's once there was nothing to lose. When you're playing to win, Excel is a team that plays not to lose. That's why I think they save so much. Or as you brought up on the desk as well, the fact that they were saving 3-4 times with 3 people alive or whatnot, it's almost as if some of the players on that Excel side look for reasons to save. They're like, okay, I'm going to hold this angle. If my teammate dies left of me, I'm saving, and that's fine.
You said Connor kind of hasn't been performing that well, but yet he's number 5 in the ADR. But putting that into context, and I can bring the analyst in as well on this, surely if your ADR is at 92.15, that surely is giving you the rounds, but is he not completing it?
Sometimes, right? One of the things with being an entry fragger is typically you do get the eco frags first because you're the first person into the site, so when the CTs are on eco, on pistols, non-Kevlar, USPs and whatnot, you are finding those easy kills, so sometimes can be not really sending the full message when you see ADR some entry fraggers. Then again, I mean, Connor and Lazar are sort of that 1-2 punch, Connor being like the left jab, and then Lazar being the right hook.
Comes in with the uppercut.
Exactly right. He is the mid-round player. Lazar is the mid-round player, the 3 versus 3s, the bomb's been planted, and he's the one holding those angles with the AWP and holding the sights.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. You need both of them to be popping off more so consistently. Connor's the one that's going to try and gel those rounds together. It's more so as well, it just seems like he's making small decision errors here and there. That's kind of the overarching thing, is even though he's been getting impact frags, when he needs to be the critical player into the round, there's always that slight error there, and that's where Excel have been letting down a couple of those rounds.
Now, I've also heard as well, gentlemen, that Boaster isn't being as vocal mid-game rounds. Like, you obviously talk about Smear being someone who can be a little bit detrimental because not playing as a team, but if Boaster, your man who's supposed to be boasting and giving the energy isn't performing, that will affect him as well a little bit, maybe. Can we hear a bit more noise from him today to get in the rounds?
I think Boast is a player that's extremely emotional, and that's how I was as well when I used to play. I was the hype man. I was the one saying, nice boys, let's get it, all that stuff. Problem is, right, when you have all that energy in the round, when things start to go south and you become quiet and you're usually the player that builds up everyone else, suddenly there isn't that hype man, right? You haven't got your Neil M from Infuse, who's the coach, and he's there hyping everyone up and firing everyone up. If Boaster goes quiet, if Boaster has a bad game as well, then that could be detrimental to the morale of the whole team.
Yeah, he is a very fiery player. He needs to get in there early, build himself up, and then really start to carry the rest of his team.
If he's someone who's 7-2 in terms of like frags, to deaths, whatever, if he has a good start, usually carries forward that momentum. He's a momentum-based player. That's one of the issues of being an emotional player is very high highs, but very low lows.
Yeah, you just got to raise your boasters and hope for the best.
Exactly that.
Okay, I mean, we've heard from 2 other CSGO and great thinking minds, philosophers of the game. Reasonable, unbelievable. The Bants is firing up here. Harold, you want to change your mind on that after you've heard from Jackie and Snods on Excel getting that 2-0? If Boaster doesn't come with the emotions that are sky high, then it's going to affect the team.
No, they just talk nonsense, so I couldn't possibly agree with them, could I? Bloody nonsense talkers. And I think Snods was saying he's the vocal player. What was that quote? Something about shaking someone's hand, I think it was, Snods?
That was my first land. That has nothing to do with endpoint.
Well, listen, you don't want to change your predictions at all?
No.
No?
I'm sticking with it.
OK, well, listen, do you know what, Jackie, Snods, lovely to see you again on week 3. I'm going to pass you over for Excel versus Epsilon. Have a great one.
Cheers, mate. All the best. Have a nice seat over there for a spectacle that this game should be. Snods, I'm feeling pretty ready, mate. I'm feeling excited about this one.
Yeah, I mean, should be a fairly close game, evenly matched. The problem is for me, first map being Mirage, I mean, seems like a very talkative point about the UK teams on a map like Mirage is how good are your CT sides? We saw Method have extremely weak CT sides, but strong T sides.
Yeah.
And I mean, Thorin said it last week on the desk, is the fact that all of these UK teams seem to lack on those retakes, and they play the 3 versus 3, the 4 versus 4s wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the major factor as well. Even if you just look at this on a one-to-one basis, Excel coming into this, that CT side, that is where they are going to struggle massively. We've seen it consistently. No matter if it's a domestic matchup or if it's against European teams, where they're playing right now, always the CT side is that massive struggle. If they can come in here early, though, their T side, usually very flawless. They have a lot of strategy behind them. Jacob's actually been putting a lot of hours in. You can see, actually, with Ross as the addition of the coach as well, everything started to come together more so on their executes and in terms of their playbook. But that CT side is where the problems will always lie. So this knife round is incredibly important as well to decide which way they're going to start.
Then again as well, right, if you're Excel and you lose this knife round, it's almost like a blessing in disguise, right? The fact that you do start on that T side and maybe try and get 9 rounds to buffer, right? A 9-6 half, you win pistol, win first buy round, try and cause Epsilon to be in a rut, and I can hear Excel screaming behind me, so that should mean Excel winning the knife round, I believe. So interested to see if they start TLCT.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see how that actually boils down to get us into this matchup. Now, that aside as well, opening pistol round, in terms of both of these teams, we've seen it where actually Excel have been looking a lot better on their pistols. We've seen them actually working their way through. I think, have we seen them lose out a pistol? Didn't they go 4 for 4 last week?
I believe no, it was 3 to 4. They lost 1 pistol last week versus Method, yeah. And they lost, I remember they lost 16 to 13 versus Method after winning both pistols. And simply put, that's just not good enough, right? In these best of 2 matchups, when you have this first map, if you're winning both pistols, you have to be expecting 5 rounds given, 6 rounds given sometimes, well, depending if the T's get the bomb down. But to lose in such close fashion as well, just goes to show that that could have been a 16-8, right, in terms of buy rounds. Imagine if Method had taken those pistols, right? So for me, you're right. These pistols mean a lot to the potential outcome of this first map.
Oh, yeah, indeed. And it just depends as well coming into this. Epsilon, they have kind of been a bit of a wild bag, really. We've never had the same consistency from them. It's always been vastly different. They either play to their best, or it seems like there's individual issues. But it is sorted out. We're all underway. We're ready for the action. Snods, why don't you take it away for the first game of Week 3 at the Gfinity Elite Series.
So, Excel, starting on that T side, let's take a look at the buy as well. So far, Connor hasn't bought just yet, but we've got 2 sets of utility from Jake and Mabosta. Smoked over flashbang on both those players. Surprising to see no HE grenades. That might mean we might be seeing a B play. If you do go for that A execute with the smoke flashbang, you see a double buy of the HE grenades to HE, obviously, CT spawn, and then try and rush CT spawn and take control of that vicinity of the map. The fact that we haven't seen any grenades come out could mean the flash is going to be used for jungle and stairs. We could be seeing CT smoked, jungle smoked, and then a push towards jungle once that smoke fades. Try to get the bomb planted for connector, planted for mid. But anyway, we are live into the first round of Week 3 of the Elite Series. 4 players going towards their BFs, so yeah, I was right. Let's see now, number 7, that will be Jacob, potentially throwing the fake towards the A side. They could be going for the double fake as well. Send out Connor towards B. Have him try and get a frag, get some information to that CT side, and then Jacob can throw that second fake, and they can go for the double bluff towards B eventually. Trying to see if they can force a rotation, try and leave Freddy B, or Smooya alone towards his B side.
Smokes will start to rain in now as they want to kick off the round, but still holding their own for the meantime. Jacob will eventually make his play through. They've spotted him out. You can see planting the seeds of doubt here, Snods. But here comes the real play. Charging their way towards the B bomb site. They want to explode out, but Smooya gets the opening frag, takes down Connor. Lazar can respond, but it's up to Maeve and Cosmine to try and hold them back, and they're doing an absolutely fabulous defense here as it just falls to Jacob and Boaster. They're not in the best angles. Jacob has to try and rotate over, and Freddy B will sniff him out.
4 versus 1 now, Boaster. No Kevlar and the utility to use as well. Will eventually go down 1-0. A very important CT pistol to win. You lose that CT pistol and you force by CZs, Kevlar, whatnot. Sometimes you might see no AWP on that first bar and you might see a lack of utility as well. So important to have smoke grenades to smoke off ramp, smoke off palace. Control mid as well by smoking off connector. And having those flashbangs so that you can allow your B-short player, your window player to peek later into the round. Anyway though, the buy on the XL side will be 5 sets of Kevlar armor. That's very important to the fact that we also mentioned in the preface how important that AWP is for Lazar. If they lose this round, we could be seeing no AWP into round number 4.
Going to try and get these frags very easily right now. They actually take 1 casualty early into the round. It's supposed to take down Freddy B. That's 1 rebuy that's got to come out. But apart from that, seems like it should be almost flawless. Nods, everyone just getting picked off. Jacob on the A side. They hope to do a little bit of damage here. Might get another frag, but it's not meant to be.
4 players staying alive as well for that CT side. Just Freddy B falling. So there'll be money in the bank for Epsilon. Especially as well the fact that Excel went for that force buy. You can see 2,000 across the board on that T bank. So no AWP into the next round. That could be detrimental for how Excel play their T sides. On the desk, they mentioned about how imperative it is to have control of middle. When you don't have that AWP to peek from B short towards connector, to peek from Delpan towards short, it's so much harder to hold those angles with rifles. Typically, you use utility to hold off those angles. So you'll smoke top connector, you'll smoke B short. They force, they'll be lacking that utility as well. Barbar finds 2 frags. He'll to get third from stuff, but he does eventually go down. Obviously, this is the eco round, so for Excel, if they can find 2 frags, that would be perfect for them. But unfortunately for them, that's going to be 4 people stay alive, both rounds in a row, Jack. Money on the Epsilon side should be fairly good. Interested to see if they bring over these SMGs into the first buy round as well. It's a risk to take, but it's high risk, high reward. You win this first buy round with the UMP on Maeve. Smooya the 5-7, has he been dropped an AWP? I hope so. Otherwise, this could be a very interesting round. Yeah. So, AWP in play on that CT side. Excel, 5 AKs. They've got decent utility though. So we were to challenge towards mid. We see Excel go for the late mid control. They wait till around about 1 minute 20, 1 minute 15, and then they slowly take control of mid. They wait for Smooth to peek it, then rotate away. Anyway, they're Cosmic getting aggressive towards B-Apps.
Just have a backup with Maeve as well, so they can try and trade. So they clear the angle. Actually just going to walk straight out, so Luzza gets the drop on and finds the first frag. Gets a bit overconfident, but it pays off. Picks off Maeve as well. Now they can make their approach towards the bomb site, Snods.
Interesting play coming out there from the CT aggression. Smoothing out towards kitchen, holding for the cross towards bench. Gets flashed off the angle. This might just be a save jack. 5 versus 3. The T's have the site as well. Smooth flashes through window, trying to find a frag. If they can get a 4 versus 5, then maybe there's a chance where you see the whiff comes through. This is surely going to be a save call unless something crazy happens.
They did look a bit hesitant off the back of that as well, and you can see it has actually now come through. They're going to just try and back off and go for the save play, it seems. Oh, they might actually be working their way out short, try and go for the exits, just play together, but a retake seems unlikely here.
It does indeed. They might play for exit frags as well. Excel, they haven't won a round just yet. 4 players still alive. If they can play for exit frags, try and whittle down that T economy as much as possible before the bomb does expire. Might try and force one of those T players onto a UMP, onto a Tech 9 into the next round. And that could be the gap that Epsilon needs to expose.
Freddie B, though, he is behind them. Just depends if he gets caught with his pants down. Molotovs goes out. They're going to try and flood into him. Gets 1 frag, but he will be traded out, and that's all they're going to be able to claim today.
So, first buy round goes in favor of Excel. You can hear them screaming as well behind me, getting fired and pumped up. They can't be reset here. Let's see what the money is like. 3 players surviving as well. Lots are there on your screens. Probably the, along with Connor, potentially the star player on this lineup. Obviously, the whole team is gelled together by Jacob, their IGL and captain. Money on that T side, 1,000, 1,550. The most money on that T side is in Jacob's pocket as well, 2,600. So if Epsilon win this round and reset the money of Excel, the only person able to buy up AK, Kevlar, and helmet will be Jacob. So Epsilon take this 4-1. Win versus that force buy. We could be seeing a very early lead here from Epsilon. Once again, they're from Excel. Going to be the late mid control. Worked for them in the prior round after Epsilon got a little bit too greedy there. They went for the CT aggression through B-Apps, and Laz, the heart of the angle, punished them. Surprising as well, he hasn't brought the AWP into this round. They're going to be keeping that 5 AK setup. Epsilon, they can't make the same mistake twice. You've gone aggressive when you have the economy to back it up, so you can see they take the risks when they can afford it. Even if they lose that round, they can still pay up into this one. 4 M4s, and then the AWP onto Smooya. Let's see now towards connector. He's blind, shoots his AWP, and they know exactly where he is. They can smoke top connector here and maybe abuse this Molotov towards window and go for a fast B split. But instead, they're going to play this one nice and slow. 50 seconds on the clock. Flash comes in towards connector. Smoke towards window as well. Jakin will smoke the top of connector. This might force a rotation from Smooth towards B potentially, especially now that Lazar finds another frag towards B.
This could be the play here as well, as that is the catalyst into the round, taking down Maeve. This early on, they can still try and make their play around this. The bomb going to link back up with them as well as they do make their approach in. Barbar links over, but it's too late as Boaster's been able to find 1 frag. They can respond, fighting through the blindness right now, but they're left in a 3 versus 3 as Smooya is somehow starting to claw his way into the round. We'll find the frag towards Jake. Wendansky instantly goes for the bomb commit as well, which is very awkward. Boaster, luckily enough, can get the response.
2 versus 2 now. Kits on both players. Just a Molotov onto Smooth, but Freddie B pushes through the fire and flames and fights Boaster. Fast reply there from Lazar in the 1 versus 1.
See how they are going to be able to play this one out. Lazar has to fall back. This is going to be a tight 1v1 to play with. He has a little bit of utility, but he has to use it sparingly. Smooya, meanwhile, just scoped in, trying to play contact with the AWP, hoping that Lazar's going to peek into his crosshairs, and he can't dispatch of the man. Molotov goes down early. Smooya going to attempt to reposition as well, as Lazar still plays it smart, just hold his ground. Molotov to try and force him to not go for the defuse right now. Smooya being toyed with a game of ring around the rosies, and he finds the headshot and can upgrade to the AWP as well. Lazar right now looking absolutely fantastic.
It's a big ego boost as well to win the 1 versus Smooya. The opposing AWPer, you can see, head in his hands. He knows exactly how important that round is. Money reset now for the CT side. That might be broke here. Could go for the eco. They've lost 2 in a row now, which means they will have 2,400 into the next round. So you can see there, Lazar playing time as well. The Molotov onto the bomb as an insurance policy. Even if Smooya killed him there wasn't enough time on that bomb to be defused. And it will be the quasi-buy coming out from Epsilon. Barbar, Freddie B, the only ones with Kevlar. Apart from that, it will be the full eco across the board, just a deagle in Smooth's hand. We've seen some incredible things from him with this weapon. Can he repeat it now on the Elite stage?
He's going to be the one on the lurk. He had to cut off the rotate there, but Freddie B will overpower him with a CZ. That's a free Kalashnikov they've been able to scavenge so early into the round slots. It's a lot of information as well, because they push so deep into T.
Exactly. You can see as well, they are stacked towards that A side. 3 players from the CT side. But now they find that frag that might funnel Excel back towards B-Apps. They have no control as mid of well. So, I guess the anti-eco I see the most in pro play is the B split. Smoke top mid, smoke window, smoke top connector. You can also smoke off CPL as well, or Molotov it, or flash into it. Go up B short and take those long range duels from B short towards bench, towards B apps and whatnot. Instead though, Excel, they anticipate Epsilon to go and stack towards B instead. Jakin could fake this very well right now, but the problem is he doesn't use any of his utilities. He's going to walk back towards mid. Hasn't used a flashbang or a smoke, so this should be very, very readable. Just down to Cosme now and Maeve to hold off this site, and none of them have Kevlar.
Luckily as well, Freddie B towards that B bomb site with the AK, so this is going to be so awkward for the CTs. They could potentially be overpowered here, but Cosme is in a good angle. It just depends if he can pull this one out of the bag. If he gets away with 1 free frags here as the entry, it could be critical to the round. Takes down Jacob, but there's the instant response from Boaster. Maeve awfully low as well, and he's just trying to stay alive so his teammates can rotate in, so they can at least try and do something here. They need to pull out some kind of tenacious defense to actually pull anything off into the round, though.
No kit as well. Kevlar and Barbar and Freddie B. This retake is so hard, but Freddie B finds a frag with that AK. Flash fire there from Connor. 2 versus 3.
Still, just attempting to push their way back through. No utility ready to play over. It depends on Barbar coming in from the rear, hoping to get that headshot off. We'll spot out the positional play of Connor as he's now aware of it, but Connor's just doing damage, leaves him in a 1 versus 1. Boaster peeks straight out with the confidence play and takes him down with the AK as well. Excel keep it trucking on.
Quasi buy from Epsilon. 4 frags found onto that T side. That's going to be detrimental to the T economy. Versus the Ecos, you can't have 4 players dying. Barbar there on your screens, the Argillian captain leads by example. So 3-3 now. Score has equalized, and you can see the damage that has done. 4 players falling has put Jacob down to just that UMP. They do have good utility on the T side. Same can't really be said for Epsilon though. You can see they have smokes, flashbangs, but only 1 Molotov onto Freddie B. So with the AWP now finally tries to go for the B pick. Smoke comes out towards B apps. Maeve and Cosme have been so aggressive towards the B portion of the map. They've been caught out twice. Surely, in round number 7, they've learnt their lesson. Lars is holding. He hopes that someone pushes through this smoke. The problem is he's wasting so much time just holding the smoke right. Excel have no control towards that middle part of the map, and Lars are just holding towards balcony. Smooth though with the shot once again towards top mid. Goes for the reface though. This is risky. Let's see if he can find the first kill for his team.
Such a bad miss there as well. Would have been a massive frag if he was actually able to find it, but consistently whiffing as he's going for these mid peaks. Barbar as well, just listening out, trying to hear those audio cues towards mid.
Still now, late mid control comes out with 50 seconds left on the clock. Excel, they need frags here soon. 2 towards B apps, 3 towards middle as well. This could be a fast B split here. Maeve just jumps point towards the back of B apps. Flash comes through. Cosme now to hold the line towards B short.
Let's see what he can do. Actually will get punished as instantly Boaster snipes him down. Maeve will respond as he's trying to roam around the site to keep them at bay, but the push coming through way too fast as Windansky will behead him. Now left in a 3 versus 4 retake as the bomb has been planted. The T's can get into their power play positions.
No kits on that CT side. They need to find frags fast here. Jacob as well will execute Freddie B trying to go through Hobbit hole. And that's going to be it. 2 versus 3 now. Boaster is dinked up as well. It's going to be potentially the save though. Oh wow, as well. The push comes in through B short. Boaster doesn't allow Smooth to save that AWP. That's going to be massive leading into the next round. Barbar, what can you really do? The money is low on that T side, so exit frags are valuable. But they're not the most valuable thing. Rounds are. Excel now, after losing the pistol, they've won 4 rounds in a row now. Momentum definitely on their side.
Oh, finding the frag as well. Lazar taking down Barbar at the end of the round. That's a full house. They take down everyone on that CT side. No weapons are going to be saved. All the casualties are there. That is really going to dent their economy.
So, round number 8. Is this going to be another quasi buy, another eco? Seems like the closest round so far that Epsilon have had on the buy rounds is actually when they had pistols and Kevlar. Buy comes in. Barbar, only player with helmet and Kevlar. CZ and a smoke grenade. Everyone else, though, just Eagles and PT-50s.
Oh, Freddie B
nice shot there.
That's beautiful as he finds that opening frag taking down Lazar. Boaster can retaliate, though, as he will execute back onto them. Barbar comes in. T's are actually getting made into mincemeat into this round. Luckily enough, Windansky can try and jiggle peek out and find the head of Maeve. Barbar still in position with the CZ. Could be incredibly naughty into this round, Snud.
Could indeed. This is a 3 versus 3. You have to be favouring Excel, though. They have the utility, the firepower, and the Kevlar. Only real chance to see them winning around is if Barbar takes down Jacob, picks up that AK, 3 versus 2 advantage, and then Barbar goes huge. If Jacob finds his frag towards Palace, it could spell the end here for Epsilon. And a 5-3 lead for Excel already on their T side.
He's going to go for the contact play, peeks out, but actually finds the head of Connor. Ridiculous stuff right now as he's just tearing his way through everyone. With that tiny pistol, Cosmin as well. There's some dirty Deegan as he swings wide and shuts down JKM, and it's all left in the hands of Windansky. He has an AK to play with, Snods, but 45 seconds and a 1 versus 3, and the bomb is down on such an awkward location. This is going to be so incredibly hard.
It is indeed. Epsilon can play crossfires as well towards the bomb. Smia peeks out, spots exactly where he is. Goes for head tries, he does land it, but Barbar, swift reply frag onto Windansky. He does fall. Once again, though, success found with the pistols for Epsilon. Excel, they're losing too many bodies versus these pistols too early on.
Yeah.
4-4. Excel are going to go for the force buy. That round where they won with 1 alive has just been so impactful to their buys. This time, there's no UMPs. It's just going to be 2 Tech 9s and 3 AKs. Boaster, though, swings out wide from mid, finds the frag onto Maeve. 1-man lead already from the side of Excel. Cosmin then makes it 4-4.
It's a huge opening frag, but the response is there very swiftly. You can see a bit of a stalemate comes in now as well, so they just have to hold their ground. The smokes are going down. CT's attempting to force them to just back off, burn that time away, and stop that fast, aggressive play.
This time, though, Excel, they're going to change things up. We've seen them go slow, mid-control, and this time they do it fast. They catch Maeve off guard, but let's see if Freddie B can catch Jacob towards window.
Going to peek his way around, spots out Jacob, finds the opening headshot. Jake frustrated because of this as well. Now left with just 3 remaining players on that T side. They are grouped up. They can try and make their ambush towards the B bomb site. But in terms of utility, it's just the 1 smoke on Connor, Snods.
It is indeed. Let's see what these players can do. It's going to be 2 towards B apps, Boaster towards middle. None of the CTs are spotting towards mid, so he can get up B short potentially unscathed. It's about whether or not they find this frag onto Cosmin, the player that's towards site, that's holding down the B short area. Boaster will find the gap here in this CT defense. They're split 2-2. Smooya holding the angle. Caught off guard. Boaster finds the frag towards Cosmin, and now it's just down to Smooya alone on this B side.
This is huge. They just have to overwhelm him here. Smooya trying to find the angles. Will go for the flick, but it's not quite enough. Connor able to dispatch him and instantly get that plant down as they have secured the bomb site. This is a massive round that XL have been able to turn into a great situation. They're in good after plants. They can try and play to their favor.
2 versus 3 now. 1-man lead for XL in this after plant. They have kids, just flashbangs as well. Boaster peeks out, spots Freddie B. They know that there's 2 there because he's boosted. They know exactly where the remaining CTs are. You might as well just save at this point. Epsilon back against the ropes.
Yeah, no reason to peek right now on that T side. They can just hold off, exit together. The CT's just trying to get those late round exit frags. They do pick off Boaster, so they're able to scavenge something out of this one. Barbar as well is going to take down Connor, so at least they do the damage on the exit frags. Can Lazar overpower them a little bit? Will catch Barbar off and can recover the AWP as well. This is a huge round for XL to get them back into it.
It is indeed. Strange play as well towards that B site. You had Smooya the AWP, hesitant to hold towards B apartments. Cosmin as well. He wasn't pushed up towards B short. That meant that if there's any T's coming up B short, they would be able to spot Smooya on balcony and find that frag before Cosmin could even see them. That's probably why Smooya was so hesitant to go for that frag, or that angle, sorry.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he falls back, the timing is in Excel's favor. Cosmin gets caught off guard trying to push off short and get some information. And that does cause for Epsilon to go for the force buy. UMP once again on Jacob, 3 AKs as well, and the AWP on Lazar. AWP onto Barbar this time, wow. So, taking things into his own hands. Last week we mentioned that when Smooya's on the AWP, that's usually when things start to get a little bit heated. People get frustrated on the Epsilon side, and this could be a sign of what's to come.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. We saw this same scenario where last week, you know, Smooya wasn't actually the one donning the AWP. It was his teammates cycling through, and that was where it all went downhill. So not going to be surprised if that could be the case once again.
And actually, he's open towards mid as well. Where is Smooya right now? 1. He's towards Palace, so he is holding towards that A site. Rolls reversed as Smooya deducted from the AWP. Signs of potential frustration as well from Barbar, being the IGL, the captain, leading by example. Let's see if he can hold off towards mid. Peeks out, doesn't land that flick though. Gets tagged up to 67 HP. And now, Excel once again have control of the middle portion of this map late into the round. 40 seconds on the clock. 5 versus 5. Bomb towards B apartments. They can get up short as well. It's all down to Cosmin. He has to hold this part.
will try and do some damage. Actually finds the headshot on towards Connor as well and instantly leaps down, hungry for more. But Boaster's there, primed and ready. Boaster's been playing flawlessly as well as he's able to pick him off. And they can now encroach their way towards that. He bumps up, but the fast rotates come over, Snods. There's already 3 men on the site. Make that 2 as Boaster keeps on going. A reign of terror right now as he tears his way through Maeve. Hungry for some more frags. Jacob swings wide, finds the kill with the UMP. There's Barbar starting to stir some stuff up with the AWP, but it's just 1 kill, and it's so late into the round.
Once again, a 3 versus 2. Smooya, the mobility is on his side. He makes the jump, but Boaster anticipates it. Catches Smooya with his pants down. Gets that frag, turns into a 3 versus 1. Barbar, of course, definitely not favored in that scenario. We'll go for the save. It's going to be 6-4. Misses the flick as well. I believe he's missed every... Well, he's got 1 frag so far, but apart from that shot he landed from, I believe it was Luzza jumping out of B apartments. He had 3 shots there to hit. He missed the one towards mid. Fair enough, that's a hard shot. But he missed one of the shots towards apartments when someone was crossing as well. Currently, though, he is 14-5. The only person really fragging alongside Freddie B on this CT side. Round number 10, 6-4. Epsilon, after winning that pistol and going 3-0, they've only managed to get 1 round since then. And that 1 round they won as well, Jack, was that quasi-buy eco. In terms of consistency right now, it's not looking too good for the CT side. Then again, though, right, there is a silver lining here. Excel are notoriously, well, I don't say notoriously bad, but notoriously not as good on their CT side as they are the T. If Epsilon can get to 6 rounds here, make this a 6-9 scoreline, maybe even a 7-8 if possible, there's definitely still a very big chance they can take this one. Buy is going to be the AWP onto Barbar, and then a full eco around that one. Where is Barbar currently? Towards B-Apps. Interesting to see if he pushes it, tries to get that first frag, try and cause a 4 versus 5 in his favor. Problem is, though, no one on his CT side has Kevlar to pick up an AK and try and cause damage into the round. It's looking very unlikely. This should be 7-4 in favor of Excel if they take this one. For me, though, it's about how can Excel salvage their money? How can they keep their bank afloat? They have to have 3 alive, 4 alive, 5 alive into this round. They can't afford any more casualties. They can't be forced back onto Tech 9s, forced back onto UMPs. They have to have strong economy for the rest of this first half.
It's true. They need to try and get themselves in a good position to work with. Barbar as well, hungry to try and get the opening frags. He will scope in. Just play off the back of the audio cues right now, seeing if anyone will push towards him. Will actually go for the wide peak, takes down Jacob as well. That's a nice opener into the round, but he's been cornered off now. Stuck in position. Once the push will come through towards the A-bomb site. Name able player on the smoke, but Boaster, luckily enough, will spot him out. Barbar still continuing to find these frags with the AWP, but Luzza can do the same as well. Look at Smooth's position. His Nods comes out from the back line, punishes Windansky, upgrades the AK as well. He could do so much damage into the round as he will shut down Boaster. It's all left on Luzza in a 1 versus 2 this round. Gotten so fast, all off that massive play from Smooth, but luckily enough, finds the headshot. Luzza picks him off, grabs the bomb. He will be able to get away with the plant as well and can just try and keep himself in.
He knows exactly where Barbar is as well, towards jungle or towards connector. Does he anticipate him to be towards stairs though? Flash comes in. 1 versus 1. Barbar chucks away the AWPs down to the rifle now.
Goes for the wide peek, go for some pre-fire. Luzza just trying to jiggle peek around it, force him to push into an unadvantageous position right now as they just hold their angles. This is very awkward as they're both swinging wide. So tense as Luzza, you can see the seeds of doubt in his mind, wants to just try and go for the peek. Tries to take the fight towards him, finds the headshot, takes him down with a Tech 9. Luzza, a great game for the man.
Why on earth did Smooya peek there? Jumps on top of Ninja, gives away the frag, puts Barbar into a near unwinnable scenario as well. The bomb was planted. Luzza knew exactly where Barbar was. He was towards jungle or stairs. He anticipated the play. Csgo peeked around as well. As soon as Barbar started shooting enemy, knew exactly where he was. And from they played it very smart. Luzza is someone who plays these 1 versus 1 scenarios so well now. 6 months ago, 8 months ago, he would have just wide-faced with the AWP and gone for the 50-50 flick shot. Now, more composure from the man as he's starting to develop into a star. 7-4. But still, down to 1 versus 1. Barbar caught off guard there by Connor. Fast reply to the frag there from Freddie B, as he is instantly taken down by Phil. Windansky finds that kill. Bonus as well into a 2 versus 4.
Smooya on the AWP here into this round, but obviously no armor to play with. Cornered off into an awkward angle. We shouldn't be able to do too much at all. He's just scoping around, might perch himself up towards Ticket Booth, try and play with Maeve and find some frags. Maeve going to get instantly recognized by Boaster there as he strikes onto him. Smooya, as long as he saves, it's not the worst case situation, but they can hunt for him. The T's can try and scope out, but it looks like he has been able to get away scot-free.
It's getting pretty bad right now. 8-4. Around now where Excel can build up their economy. You can see 1,200 down to Windansky, 1,900 as well on Boaster. Oh, sorry, Connor. But imagine they lost this round and got reset. That's where Epsilon could have got back into this one, right? They go 5, they break the economy of the T side, they win versus that 4 spy, they try to get themselves back into this one, maybe 6 to 7, 5 to 7. But now, Excel on 8 after losing that first pistol as well, Jack. 8 rounds, they've already won the first half on their T side, which is expected. But is it expected to be 8 to 4 after losing that CT pistol? So, Barbar there, thinking, what on earth can I do? They're going to go for the quasi-buy around the AWP with Smooya. Barbar has once again the CZ Kevlar. Freddy B as well. So Smooya gets aggressive here, finds the first frag, then hopefully Barbar or Freddy B can salvage that and try and cause havoc into this round. Lazar though peeks out, Smooya wins the duel finally. Seems like the AWP versus AWP battle has been heading towards his B site.
Aggressive pixel angle and play there. Smooya tries to keep it going as well and finds that follow-up frag on towards JKM. The scary factor is, Snods, they can recover those weapons. Barbar's here. They can either try and go for that double AWP setup or scavenge the rifle that Jake dropped.
Exactly that. Double AWP play now. We saw Barbar have a 3K into the previous round. Can he repeat that? 3 versus 5. Maeve there. Is he back towards connector? Where is Maeve? Maeve is towards that A site. Triple boxes. So, Freddy B peeks out. Does link up when Dansky has the information he needs. It's going to be a 5 versus 3. One of these players as well on the T side, such low HP. Maeve towards Triple has to get all the information he can before falling down. He has no Kevlar and just a P250.
Play around this, spots out the leg of Boaster, gets an early tag onto him, just trying to take the fight, but the thing is, Connor's there as well. Luckily enough, Smooya's able to come over with the AWP, and they pick them off without any casualties on the site stun, so it just falls into Wendansky. Smooya runs around like a lunatic, and will find that frag as well, so Epsilon finally finds something to play with.
Pistols once again, though, and they do take it 5 to 8. 2 rounds won now after the pistol, but all those rounds have been won with the quasi-buys, the ecos, the 1 AWP saved. Now we go into round number 14, another buy round here. Excel, 2 Tech 9s and 3 AKs. And then on that Epsilon side, it's going to be the 2 AWP set up onto Smooya and Barbar, and then 3 AKs to fill out the rest of the buy. Let's see now, 1 minute 40, no mid-control here. It's going to be fast out A-round. Barbar has to hold the line here and find 2 frags minimum.
We'll get the opener as he swings wide on towards JKM. Smooya as well does some damage with the AWPs. They're actually paying off massively into this round. The flicks are coming out all over the place, leaving it on just the remaining duo on the side of Excel. Wendansky and Lazar, they have to try and go huge into this. Lazar does have them lined up with the AK, but can't quite get the spray down off. Wendansky stuck up, just running around, hoping to do some damage with the Tech 9. Peeks out, but it is nowhere near enough.
Finally, some confidence here from the Epsilon side on the CT side. It's been a while. We saw them getting aggressive for the first 2 buy rounds. Obviously, Lazar, the man in the screen, was the one that held those pushes towards B apartments and found his team 2 rounds off of the back of that. Actually, more than that. He's got the 2 1 versus 1s. He got a 2K when they pushed B apps. He then got another 1 or 2K the second time they pushed B apps as well. So far, yeah. Boaster there, 17 to 15. Lazar close behind him as well. Anyway, enough about frags. Let's see what Barbar can do. Towards connector, spots out play, hits the flex shot there. Connor does fall. They're on the Tech 9 by Jack. Let's see if they can salvage it.
This is the thing, they're just trying to hit them hard and fast. It's not going to work if you just keep losing members so quickly. Barbar's been picking up the AWP, playing absolutely amazing with it as he's just tearing his way through everyone there. Great play.
You're right. Great play. Great display of confidence as well from Barbar. Problem is, though, you go into the second half now, and the only person really delivering, apart from that 1 round where Smith found the 2 frags was B-Apps, is Barbar. So who's going to be AWPing? See the smile on his face, he's feeling it, feeling confident with the AWP in hand. What if Barbar does AWP on that T side? And Smooya is just on the AK? He is obviously a well-rounded player. He can AWP, rifle, very good with the pistols as well. But how will that change their T sides? We know they play more of that loose style anyway. Smooya there. The only British man on the Epsilon side. Where are they all from? I think Freddy B, Barbar, and who am I missing? Cosmi's from Romania. Smooya's from England. Barbar, Freddy B from Sweden. Who am I missing?
Or Maeve.
Maeve, Denmark, yeah. So, international lineup versus the homeborn Excel. Connor on your screens there. Quite a quiet game so far. It's been really Boaster and Lazar stepping up to the plate. And the thing is as well, right, we mentioned in the preface before this game how important it is for Boaster to have a good game, the momentum-based player he is. If he's fired up, he's rallying the troops behind him. 17 kills in one half. Can you repeat that in the second half now on their CT side where they usually do struggle?
Yeah, it's true. One of those factors that normally comes into play with that as well is if they start off in their CT half. That's where they usually have the worst case scenario. They're never really warmed up, but you can see from that T side as well, that's what we needed to have them bring to the table.
Exactly.
Good T sides, nice teamwork. It was slow and steady. It was that Excel sort of mentality that has been working for them in the past domestically and when they've been trying to branch out against some European teams. So coming into this second half, they feel warmed up. They've got the confidence behind them, but it's still going to be a hard game. They needed to get more of a buffer off the back of that. This pistol is going to be so critical to getting that early start.
Oh, wow. Barbar there, 20 frags, 10 deaths. Maeve, 2 kills and 12 deaths. So, not the best game from him so far. 3 as well, 3 to 17 for Jacob. Connor on 6 kills. We need to see more from him on the CT side if they want a chance to take this one. Connor towards B short. Boaster as well towards kitchen. Sorry, Jacob towards kitchen. We would dance together with the smoke diffuse kit, so in case the bomb does count, they can go for the smoke diffuse kit. Boaster with the first frag finds Barbar, and that might cause for the fake not to work.
Push coming through, but they're just holding them back. The CT's actually doing an awful lot of damage with these pistols, picking people out of thin air right now. The bomb will go down though, so Epsilon at least have some kind of redeeming factor from the round.
5 versus 3, they do have a kit, so they can wait for this bomb timer to tick even further down. Trying to play for picks here. If they make this a 5 versus 2, they can swarm the site and play the trade game.
Just peeking together, trying to play as a unit rather than peeking individually, but it all starts to go wrong, Snods! The CTs just get torn to shreds, walk into a meat grinder. They lose out the entire round from a 3 versus 5 into just an instant clean kill. They're coming out from the Ts. They lock it down. That's ridiculous.
Awfully played retake there from the CT side of Excel. They had a 2-man advantage. The Ts were peeking towards the site as well. Just play it slower. You have a diffuse kit and a smoke grenade. You can play the round slower. Wait for the faces to come from the Ts. Try and take those heads clean off. Yeah. Try and make it a 5 versus 2 and then swarm the site when you have a 3-man advantage. Boaster there finds a nice 1D onto Smuya. Will be able to get away, and no he won't. Cosby makes it into a 4 versus 4. Jacob though, the 5-7, will find a nice headshot there onto Barbar. Excel now once again the lead. We just saw previously in the prior round, they threw it away.
They don't have the best arsenal to play with into this round either. They only have the one weapon that's scavenged over on JKM. Maeve also takes down Connor as they make their onslaught up through short. This is going to be very awkward to defend this site. Windansky trying to bait his teammate here, just trying to play with Luzza so Luzza can come in a stealthy play and try and pick them off from the sideline. If Maeve isn't aware of this, it could be very awkward. Gets the early tag, but he's giving the game away somehow. Finds the headshot towards Maeve as well, though, as he swings wide through the air like an acrobat. Gets into the back line, but it wasn't enough. Snods couldn't get the kill with the Galil, but they did do an awful lot of damage at least.
They did indeed. So, does Luzza have 3,000 in the bank? Because if not, we might be seeing no AWP on that CT side. We casted them versus Method. It was all really down to Luzza's AWP on that CT side. Here was the one locking off mid, locking down connector. The problem was last week when they played, or sorry, 2 weeks ago when they played Method or Mirage, there just wasn't enough firepower to back up Luzza. Now you've got Boaster firing on all cylinders, hyping everyone up. Can they rally behind Luzza's AWP? Let's take a look. So he does have 3,000 in the bank, so we'll be seeing an AWP into the next buy round. And off of B short they come, straight into the spray of Cosme and Maeve as they clean that one up. But once again, 2 players do fall from the Epsilon side. So, first buy round of the second half. Are the Ts going to carry forward their SMGs, or are they going to fully rebuy? Question as well as, will they go for the double AWP setup on that CT side as well? Questions to be answered momentarily. So, will be the single AWP setup from the CT side. Luzza there, warding that weapon, 4 M4s as well to go around that buy. And the Galil is kept. SMG is thrown away. 4 AKs, 1 Galil on this T side. Strong utility as well on both sides. Let's see what happens now. Smoke comes towards top mid. It's looking like Epsilon are going for a faster control of mid. Ready to be alone right now. Smee trying to get aggressive towards B. Trying to find that first frag towards Jacob and open up this site to allow his team to get an opening. But instead, he spots out Jacob and falls back to Maeve. On the other half of the map, will find a nice headshot down to Windansky in midair. Can he get the second frag onto Boaster? Sprays him down low and he does get that frag. Second headshot for him.
Just the opener they needed into this round gives them something to work with. Jacob also getting taken down by Smuya is huge for Epsilon, as this could be a clean sweep for them. Just leaving it on Connor and Luzza. Most likely just going to have to try and play for the save, but they are penned in, surrounded from all angles as well. So Smuya could be able to dispatch both of them. Will find the kill back on towards Connor, so it is just Luzza as the Lone Ranger trying to stay alive, hoping that he can hold on to that AWP into the last round.
We saw what Barbar and Smuya could do on their CT side of the AWP. They can't allow Luzza to save this AWP right now. This is that first shot. Cosme does find that frag, so unfortunate scenes right here for XL. I mean, yes, it's 8 to 10.
Yeah.
But the problem is, in terms of buy rounds, 8 to 11 now, the scoreline is rather misleading, Jack. They won 3 off of the initial pistol round on their CT side. On the T side, they got another 3. In terms of buy rounds straight up, this is instead, what, 5 to 8 in terms of buy rounds. So Excel, happy performing, definitely, but still, you have to win those pistols. You can't lose versus the eco rounds. You can see the effect it has on the scoreboard right now. Fast play towards mid. Smooth gets a reply frag onto Connor. It's a nice double spray as well. Barbar with the AWP. And that answers my questions that I had previously before we went into the second half, is who will be AWPing on the T side? And Barbar takes matters into his own hands. Smooth on the AK.
Fairly easy stuff so far as they've just been picking off everyone. It all falls back on towards Boaster. He's been looking good, but even the Boasty himself can't pull this one out of the bag, as he will just have to try it and stay alive for a few seconds. Probably going to be picked off momentarily, but Epsilon going to get themselves the 12 rounds on the board, Snods. They're looking good. Excel, this is kind of the curse they've had consistently. We spoke about how their CT sides are what have let them down. They're going to get that buyback out, but they instantly need to make a change. They need to try and switch things over right now, as they don't have much of a buffer left.
Exactly that. Notoriously weak on their CT sides, and right now they don't have enough to back it up. Boasted does eventually fall. 4 players staying alive for the Epsilon side, which means their money is now building. They had 3 alive. Was it 4 alive? They had 4 alive in the previous one. 4 alive again. AWP salvaged as well. Barbar picking that one up. You can see now the morale is a lot higher on the Epsilon side after they started winning those rounds. We saw Barbar raging potentially at Smooth after throwing that 2 versus 1 versus Lazar. And now, with morale high, they may just close this first map out in convincing fashion. Jake here, thinking about what they can do. Let's have a think, right? Epsilon on their T side, they're playing off of individual plays. Potential double up setup could work. You take 1 AWP, Jake him towards B apps. He can push B. You can have Connor rotate off of B short, play towards window. You can have Lazar towards CT. You can have 2 players playing on site. That way you counter and execute as you have 2 players on site. You counter a contact play as you have Lazar towards CT, holding towards ramp and towards connector. And you counter a mid split as you have Connor towards jungle, holding for the window boost and holding for that connector split. And as well with the AWP, if you push down through apartments, jump on those chest of drawers and look down above underpass, you can really get a good scope and a good buffer time as well, right? You land that first kill on the play walking into your scope from B apartments, and you give yourself 20 seconds, 15 seconds, as long as you have the utility, right? A flashbang, a counter flashbang, a counter Molotov. Give yourself 15 seconds to fall back, get a rotation in from Connor from window, and you could be seeing a 9th round for Excel. But instead, no double AWP setup for them on their CT side. It's going to be the 1 AWP onto Lazar, and then 1. Oh, Smooth's AWPing now, so pass the parcel. It's now in Smooth's hands, and typically when he wields his weapon, he plays far more aggressive with it. Let's see if he will get a bit audacious. Freddie B finds the first frag onto Connor towards B. It's one onto Jacob.
Jake will get the first frag as he tries to fire back. We'll be able to dispatch Maeve, but it's short-lived as Freddie B continues his reign of terror. Cosme commits to the plant as well, so they've instantly secured that bomb site. Look how spread thin XL are as well. And they're just playing those contact angles, hoping that Epsilon are going to try and take the fight towards them, because they can't really do anything here. They have to fall back and save again. It's rinse and repeat. And at this point, that buffer that they had is completely gone. 13 rounds on the board for Epsilon. They are so close to being able to get themselves a match point. It just looks scary at this point. They will try and take the fight through, though, so at least Freddie B gets dispatched. But they have the cash to play with. The difference maker is that XL don't.
Imagine it up there towards apps, right? Freddie B found the first frag by the contact play. He walked into Connor's crosshair, and Connor lost the duel, and as soon as Connor loses that duel, the round's pretty much over. The bomb site is Epsilon's, and all that Excel can do right now is play to save. We've seen this scenario so many times, Jack, where they just save with 3 alive. But then again, the chances they had of winning that round 5 versus 3 when the site was in the T's hands is so minimal. Instead, they take their chances into round. Don't know what the round is now. Just seeing Boaster's beautiful face. Round number 22, Jack. So, 13 to 8. Excel right now flat on their CT side as potentially expected. No rounds won for them. They lose the pistol. They've lost both buy rounds now. But still, you lose so many rounds in a row. You have 3,400 in the bank and money left over and the save as well. They're going to be able to buy up into this one. Famas onto Connor. 3 M4s and the AWP once again saved in Joe Luce's hands. Flush comes in towards mid. May finds that first frag onto Windansky. And you can see Connor blinded by their own flashbang, which means he won't wide swing into Freddie B's crosshair.
Yeah, can't play around the smokes as well, so the CTs are forced to fall back. They're just going to play that close angle on connector. Boaster could actually be quite important into the round.
Exactly that. Boaster here has to find a frag, try and make it a 4 versus 4. He's aggressive now towards connector. If he falls, the round is pretty much done.
See what he can bring to the table. Obviously, just holding back for the meantime, just trying to listen out for those audio cues. Has the support of Lazar as well, which can rotate over, but Smooya is going to come into effect. Peeks out with the little pixel angle, takes down Boaster, and now's holding his own as they can go for the split push towards the A bomb site. The bomb going to rotate back round as well, all the way through T-spawn, and it's a very, very late rotate coming through from CT, and they could be caught off guard, actually. Oh, Freddie B finds the headshot, hungry for more as he will try and peek out, but Connor, luckily enough, will take him down. Lazar forced out of position, just left on 50. Barbar can capitalize off the back of this. They are going to be able to tear their way through. They won't let anyone save on the side of Excel. Connor trying to fall back with just a measly FAMAS.
Connor, last alive, 28 HP as well. 1 versus 4. Gonna try and salvage this FAMAS, but what can you really do with a FAMAS into the next round? Not really the best weapon of choice. An M4, fair enough. An AWP is spectacular to have. But a FAMAS, it's not really ideal here, Jack. 14 to 8 now. This is looking like a fairly convincing T-half here from Epsilon, as they have won 7 rounds on the trot right now on this second half. 20 frags for Boaster, but you can see Jacob and Colin just not delivering. And being the anchors of that B site as well, it's so imperative they find kills, and not kills once they're saving, kills as they come into that B site. So, round number 23, Connor not happy. He knows that his performance so far hasn't really been stellar. 14 to 8. AWP once again in Smooya's hand. You can see the money on the T side as well. 9,000, 7,000 on Barbar, 11,000 on Smooya. They can buy up for another 3 to 4 rounds. Excel are under so much economical pressure as well. Even if they win a round, they're going to be playing versus buy from this Epsilon side, so it's going to be hard to salvage the rest of this half. But Barbar goes 1-1 there. It's not quite good enough to trade. Last though, peeks off B short, finds that kill onto Freddie B. We are into a 4 versus 3, and finally Excel have a man advantage and have a lead. Surely they can't let this one go versus Epsilon.
Best situation Excel's had in a very long time right now, as they're only 1 man down. Just going to be trying to play off these angles, just hold back, play crossfires rather than anything. Don't get as aggressive. They've got a lot of map control as well towards T-spawns. They know that it is clear, but the thing is, they aren't aware of the location of Maeve. He's snicked in through the back. He's looking good. He can just try and wander around here.
He can get in towards CT as well. I don't think the CT side have anyone watching towards. Oh, this is smart. So they haven't broken the vent. That doesn't allow Maeve to go for the flank, but Boaster gives up the advantage they had. Now he breaks the vent. Does Lazar hear it? I don't think he does. I don't think they have any idea that Maeve is right now coming in from the flank, catches Jacob off guard as well. 3 versus 2. Finally, they have the advantage, but quickly thrown away as Connor gets aggressive towards BAPS. Equalizes the numbers to 2-2. Lazar and Connor right now, the 1-2 punch I mentioned before in the preface. These are the stars that have to deliver, and they have to deliver it now. Yeah,
it has to be right now as they do make their play through. Just going to try and go for that A bomb site, but it is completely clear. The welcome mat is down, luckily enough. It just depends if Lazar can try and strike and hold them back. Smooya and Maeve have slipped on. They can go for the bomb plant here.
Exactly that. The new Connor was towards B, as he did find the kill onto Freddie B. And the new Lazar was the A side player, and the fact he's given away position. They know that the A side is clear. Smooya with the shot, but Lazar doesn't. 17 HP for Smooya as he goes for the reface. Maeve, the only one of this T side with HP.
Smooya still trying to go on the offensive angle as well. Will peek out, but Connor takes him down. Maeve just trying to play defense here. Will hold. Swings wide, actually gets 1 frag, but he's left in a 1 versus 1 with Lazar. Lazar with the AWP. It's not going to be that effective in close range. Just trying to play for time. Peeks on the smoke, but he actually does find it. But I don't know if he's got the kit to go for this here. We'll try and jump on the bomb.
How many 1 versus 2s does this guy need in one day? In one game? He has it. 9-14. That's a very big round right there for Lazar to win. Let's take a look at the frags as well. Who is delivering on that T side? On that CT side, sorry, for Excel. It was Boaster before, 17 kills in 1/2. How has he been so far? On their T side, sorry, on their CT side, they haven't really had too much success. Boaster, they're 21 kills, so 4 frags found for him over the course of 8 rounds. So far, not so good. 6 for Jacob, 6 for Windansky, sorry. So it wasn't even Connor there on 6 frags. Windansky, Connor, and Jacob not delivering the goods right now. Still down to Boaster and Lazar to try to carry this one forward. Money so strong on that T-bank. They can afford the losses right now. Connor towards be sure. He has to try and get another entry for his team.
Connor actually gets taken out. Smooya finds the frag through the smoke as well. That's a massive opener into the round as Excel once again losing the first opening kill.
But where was this, right? On Excel's T-sides, the opening picks from the AWP. Windansky as well towards window will find the equalizer. 4 versus 4 now. 1 minute 30 on the clock. The bomb quickly going towards B short. They know there's just Jacob here towards this side. He has to hold the line.
Swarming over, going to try and take him down. Early Molotov will come out. Jake does spot them, so at least he's got the information to make the call to his teammates. Just trying to stay alive, but unfortunately taking the fight is the wrong idea. Maeve will be able to snipe him with the AK as they now push their way through. Windansky has to go huge, but everyone is falling one by one. There is no defense at all. And at this point, with just Boaster and Lazar left, sure, they've been performing amazingly, but it's unlikely they can do anything, and this will be that 15th round claim.
They're going to have to go for this potentially. Are they going to go for OT? Try play for OT. Save this one. Have the M4 and AWP into the next round. Sliggy, can we take a look at the money, please? So let's see. Can anyone drop on that side? No, Jacob has 1,200. He will get 1.4k in the bank. So he'll have 2,600. He can drop over a FAMAS or buy a FAMAS. But the buy that comes off of this, right, you're going to be seeing a FAMAS, 2 UMPs, an M4 and an AWP. Are you going to win 6 rounds in the trot off of that? I don't think so. But Lazar, once again, playing for the exit frags. Does find 2. But at this point, it's not about exit frags, it's not about kills, it's not about money, it's about rounds. And Epsilon to round number 15. Excel need to win 6 on the trot, and their buy is going to be so weak into the next one. Thing is, as well, when you see teams have comebacks, it's typically off of the back of breaking the enemy's bank, okay? The rounds which you clinch are the ones where you win the buy round against eco, you win the eco. Against the buy round, win the force buy, win the eco, and then win the next buy round, okay? So you might see 15-9 scoreline, but Epsilon might only have to lose 3 buy rounds for this to be a comeback from Excel when you counter in the 3 ecos or quasi buys. But instead, that money on the Epsilon side is strong, and so is Smooya's aim, trying to find an entry here. Jacob alone on that B side.
Jake, the only one with a real rifle as well. He has got the UMP to play with, hoping to just try and punish them as they will flood into the bomb site. Right now, not going to clear the angle just yet, so he is in a good position, but most likely he should only get the first frag. Cosmine hoping he can try and trade this. Jake gets the information as well. They're just going for the jump face, and you can see he's got some support. Connor roams over. If he plays close under window here, he is in a good position, but the real attack is going down towards the A bomb site. Snod, it's all been a bit of a lampoon towards B.
So on to Windansky. Quiet game for him so far. Has the Deagle in hand. Kevlar and no utility. Can't molly off towards ramp or counter flash the T's. He has to face them 1 peek at a time and gets dinged up already. AHP for him. The A site is lost. It's going to have to be the retake.
He needs to try and retake together here, try and play as a unit. Lazar will rotate over, has the AWP. He can be such an effective player into this round if he's able to do some damage with the weapon. Wants to get himself into a good power play angle, but luckily enough, they strike at the right time as they are finding these frags. They come out huge, and they will lock it down, getting themselves a 10th round and staying alive in this matchup for now.
10 to 15, 5 more now for the side of Excel. Bomb was planted, 6,000 in the bank for most of those Epsilon players. You can see there, Freddy B shaking his head. He knows that they have to close this one out fast. They do have 6,000, so they can buy for the following 2 rounds. So let's imagine that Excel win the next 2 rounds, right? 15 to 12. They break the bank of Epsilon. That could be the eco, the quasi buy following that one. We might just be seeing 3 more buy rounds here for Epsilon to try and close this one out. 3 more chances, 3rd time lucky potentially, to make this a 16-12, a 16-11. But let's see. What can Epsilon do with the 5 AK side? They're going to be playing a lot faster this time, and it catches Windansky off guard.
Freddy B with a quick response. There's Boaster coming into effect as well. Right now it's going 1-for-1 on either side, but all of a sudden XL do take a slight advantage as Connor tears his way through Smooya, just leaving it on the duo of Cosmine and Barbar on that T side. They're going to try and play together. The bomb miles away as well, but it is recoverable. Barbar is on that A site though.
It all comes down to Barbar now. He needs to find the frag onto Connor, make this into a 2 versus 2. Lazar is low HP with the AWP. Molotov off towards jungle. Cosmine now towards connector, finds the frag onto Jacob. Lazar's low as well, the opening finds him. Connor now, 40 HP, 1 versus 1 to try salvage what's left of this comeback.
Absolutely crazy right now. Cosmine, full HP as well. He can just take his time as he's just waddling around. If the peak comes through, as long as he finds this kill, he will get the round. Connor just trying to play back. He isn't going to try and commit to this until he knows one of the sites has been taken.
Thing is, as well, he's going towards A. He thinks Cosmine has the bomb in his hands, but instead, the bomb is out of his grasp. 50 seconds left. He can go and retrieve it towards middle or towards T-spawn. Get the bomb, run towards B. It's a 50-50 chance that Connor does check it. So, is he going to play the numbers? What's the percent?
Good one, mate.
Cheers.
Let's see how he is going to play this, though. Obviously, a lot of utility on the side of Connor, and Cosmine actually going for the play towards the A bomb site. It just depends how Connor rotates off. He is going to go full back towards jungle, hold into a tight angle. Is he going for the full rotate there? That could be very awkward, as there has been no information. It's going to be a long rotate back over, and this gives Cosmine so much play into the round.
Exactly. Timing is in his favor. Connor checks towards that A site, clears it, while Cosmine goes and gets the bomb. Connor playing checkers, and Cosmine's playing chess. 8 seconds left. Molotov towards Palace just in case. Bomb will just about go down. It's going to be the 1 versus 1. Now, Con has full utility, but low HP. Cam on it towards default. It's all down to Cosmin. Peek, and he gets it. Unfortunately for him, he had the 60 HP advantage, and you can see Cosmin there, 11 HP. If it was an equal exchange, you know, both on 100 HP, that should have been Connor's round, but instead, he got 2 tagged up, and that's going to be 1-0 for Epsilon.
Getting the first map on the board is scary as well, because obviously Mirage, the one when you look at it on paper, you think
It should
Excel,
be Excel's, yeah.
drilled on Mirage, a lot of strategy there. The map where they have displayed some of their best feats, really.
Got to remember as well, we casted the Premiership on Monday, and what map did Excel lose to? What map did Excel lose to Reason on, sorry?
Yeah.
It was Overpass, and that's going to be the next map coming up. So this week, they've had a heavy loss on Overpass, and now they're playing versus Epsilon, a team of a different caliber. How will they fare? How will they do, sorry, on their CT side? We saw them struggle on Mirage. Could be the same affair on Overpass.
Yeah, that's going to be Overpass, will be the second map. But right now, I'm going to pass over to Tom.
Thank you very much, Jackie. There you go, 16-10 to Epsilon against Excel. We'll have a quick break right now, then we'll come back and have a little chat with SEO and Harold. See you in a second. Well, welcome back. It is week 3 of the Elite Series, Excel versus Epsilon. A lot going on in that first match. A lot to talk about. Map Mirage, it finished 16-10 to Epsilon. First question I'll throw to either of you gentlemen who is up ready to take this on. Where was this match lost? First question. Simple question.
I think it's a two-letter answer, really.
Yeah.
CT side, at the end of the day. The CT side was abysmal. There was 2 rounds won by Excel. The retakes, it had to come down to 1 versus 2 clutches, and at the end of the day, you can't rely on that. Simply, they weren't able to hold the sites. They were falling back into retake positions and then going in alone. That's not going to work at the end of the day. You need to wait for your team, and even if you are waiting for your team, if you're a man down, it's going to be difficult. In 4 versus 3 going for the retake, it's difficult. And it started really from the pistol round. From base 1, they were falling into retake on B straight away. You need to not play scared. You need to go for it. You need to try and get a kill. And if you're not going to commit to the retake, don't go in on your own and then wait and then go in on your own. It's not going to work.
Yeah. There wasn't any doubling up.
Thing. I've never seen somebody play retake B on a pistol round because you just don't do it. It doesn't make sense to do it. It's just quite a small site. They can get close angles on you.
Okay.
To do it on CT side where you've got an advantage distance, why would you do it? I don't know. It was very bizarre.
To break that down a little bit more, SEO and Harold, when you're talking about that retake, what do you exactly mean? And why not do that on B side?
B side's very close and condensed, so there's lots of small angles where you can use the Glock to its best possibility, basically. So you've got USBs on CT side where it's a one-shot headshot from pretty much any distance of the map, really. It's especially Mirage, anyway. So doing that on B side, it just didn't really make sense. If anything, it should be the reverse situation when you play retake A. It's a lot more spaced out. You can use your utility quite well.
So the strategy, the tactics they were using just weren't...
It just seemed back to front.
Yeah, so what a retake is when they push, and instead of fighting them straight away, what you do is you fall back and enable them to take the site, so you can wait for your team and then retake the bomb site. Gotcha. So it's waiting essentially for an opportunity for you to go in and take it back, as opposed to risking losing your life at the beginning of the round.
Yeah, and then obviously that affects the money and the buyback for the next round. Yeah. And obviously with that retake, you're going in, you've got time to breathe in some of those maps. We love to see it when it's a fast round, but other times you just go, if you just ease back a little bit, then attack again, it might be more beneficial for your team, but it wasn't happening at times. Why do you feel like the XL are really struggling on the CT side? Is it just strategic?
Yeah, essentially they're not able to hold the sites effectively. And then when they were going in for the retakes on the sites, they weren't playing as a team, really. You saw a lot of occasions where someone would go down in a place where it was completely untradeable. They weren't able to retrade the frag, and so it was losing a man for absolutely nothing. And if you're going to lose someone for nothing, at least make it, make there a reason to do it. So say you want to distract them or you want to, throw a player in here. They were just playing on their own and ineffectively, essentially.
I mean, and also what's not going to help you for Excel, you've got 2 players, Jacob and Windansky, who are less than 10 frags for a round. That's obviously going to help work against you. And then the thing that you're also facing is 28 kills from a guy called Barber, picked up the AWP in round 10 and really just grabbed their team by the scruff of the neck and went, right, lads, I feel I'm going to have to run the show here. And it paid off.
As much as I want to rail on XL CT side, it is worth knowing Barber picked up, they went double up on CT side Epsilon when they were down. I think it was 8-4, 8-5 or something like that, and they pulled it all the way back. And obviously Barber's had a hell of a game, 100 ADR with the AWP, 6 entries as well, in how many rounds? 26. So he's getting the entry in about 22% of the rounds, which is a heck of a start.
Interesting fact for you, actually, all the players on Epsilon are 27.
Okay.
It's just a coincidence, honestly, but they're all 27.
Listen, mate, come on, there's a beautiful team up there working on all the graphics. There's some of the footage. There's Smoya, who obviously had the AWP taken off him by Barber, and it seemed to benefit the team, but then other times Smoya was just lethal, as you just saw that, with the AWP.
Yeah, I think they definitely did prefer to have him with it as a priority, but when they needed it, if they could, they'd have Barber with the secondary AWP, which obviously did work because they won, I think, every round after that. So it was just a case of understanding, they're quite slow starters. They realised, okay, our regular stuff isn't working, let's try double AWPing, and obviously it did work.
And there were many times where Epsilon looked lethal with a pistol. It almost felt like you don't need an automatic, just stick with the pistols. They were taking long-range shots with the pistol that really put Excel on the back foot, and then they lost a bit of confidence. You did mention about how Boaster, before the game, was going to really benefit if he got off to a good start. Did have a good start. Lots of kills there. Yeah. 25, I think, in the end.
This is the exact thing I was saying. If you have those strong players, you need to capitalise off the back of it. And, Boaster can be doing as well as he likes, but if the rest of the team isn't there, they're going to struggle at the end of the day. And, like you say with the pistols, if you're getting eco'd, T-side, something's wrong. Something is really, really wrong. You know, Freddie B is standing there with the deagle, and you're feeding him the kills. You're allowing him to just take you every single time.
It was difficult. It was hard to watch sometimes. I know. You're backstage. I was screaming out here in the arena, and it was frustrating at times. But then again, there was. We said at one point, there was no swagger. There was mainly waddling around at various moments. And Luzza did do a lot though at various times. At really clutch opportunities, did that, but not enough of it. So what can we expect from map 2 here then in Overpass for Excel? The rest of the boys getting those frags, or is there something strategically wrong?
It's got to be CT side. They have to wake up on the CT side. If they can wake up on the CT side, they can win the game. It's as simple as that. You know, they've won 8-7. Basically, Mirage is a 9-6 map on CT side. So you're expecting to win 9 rounds on that CT side. They played a really nice T side, to be fair to them. I mean, there were a few flaws, you know. If they had patched the holes like getting E-code, it would have been a different scoreline. It could have been like a 9-6 in their favour, maybe even 10-5. But at the end of the day, if their CT side doesn't work, it doesn't matter how many rounds you win on T side. It just doesn't matter. If you're not winning on CT,
you're not going to win it.
Yeah, it's a 2-sided game.
So to put you on the spot, SEO, you've seen them so far. You've seen the first showing. Different map, Overpass now. Different strategies used. Definitely an AWPing round again. Hopefully Luzza can pick it up. But what are you reckoning for your prediction for this? Is it going to be another Epsilon, or maybe Excel get that one?
Turns out that Epsilon actually picked Mirage.
Yeah.
It turns out it was actually the other way around. So I think Excel might be able to put up a fight. It might be just a similar scoreline, really. I kind of regret putting 1-1 now. I thought there'd be a stronger CT showing. I thought there would be some sort of improvement. But 9 CT rounds across 3 Mirage games is not...
It's not enough.
No, so I'm thinking Epsilon taker.
And your prediction at the beginning was 2-0 to Excel. That doesn't matter now. We'll move on. Things happen.
I am no fence man.
No fence man.
Look, at the end of the day, we've seen a great performance coming out of both Boaster and Luzza. I think if the rest of the team can wake up, they have the possibility, they have the opportunity here. And that AWP on CT side of Overpass can be really powerful. I've got to stick with my prediction. I've got to go with Excel.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We throw over to the casters, Snods and Jackie. What are you saying?
Almost.
That was. What do you mean? No. I just looking because we make that moment where there's just eyes locked for a second. Are you agreeing with the other experts, Harold and SEO, on this one?
Didn't Harold say that Excel were going to win this?
He did, yes, and now he's sticking with it.
Talking nonsense, isn't he? Classic. Classic Harold.
I mean, my prediction was 2-0 for Epsilon. Obviously, so far, so good. They won the first map 16-10. Yeah. On Overpass, yes, it's Excel's pick, but the problem is they lost it in the Premiership versus Reason playing with the sub. They had Mace playing, and Mace is obviously a good player, but that Reason team with a sub, you compare that on paper to Epsilon playing the full lineup.
Yeah.
They're going to be dealing more damage there, especially individually, skill-wise. Maybe not structure, because we see them play a very loose style. But yeah, I mean, individually, man by man, you're playing versus a much better opponent.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, at this point, when you look at it, it's kind of hard to say it's going to go 1 now because it's just too hard to call. Overpass with the benchmarks we've had with their game against Reason, if you look at that, even as just the key, you can kind of base it that this should be Epsilon picking it up.
Well, Jackie and Snods, see, it's equal, 50-50 now. Gentlemen, I'll leave it in your capable hands. Excel versus Epsilon, the second map. Epsilon got the 1-0 lead at the moment.
Cheers, mate. So let's see how this one is going to go. Epsilon versus Excel. Snods, I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit worried. Excel, obviously, they want to try and go 1 with this. Stop Epsilon from actually breaking out that streak. Obviously, every game they played so far has been a 1-1 scoreline.
Yeah, but you got to feel bad for Excel, right? Start of this tournament, the first 3 weeks, they've been playing versus, they played versus Prophecy, week 2. Method, week 1. Epsilon, week 3. So when you look at who's going to be shaping up that top 4, you've got to be expecting Method, Prophecy, and Epsilon to be in that top 4 for the playoffs. So very, very hard draw so far from Excel. So the fact that they are getting the 1-1s, you know what? Fair play to them. They've had a very, very hard streak so far.
That's the thing as well. Is Excel, when you looked at it originally, we sort of spoke about it. It was more so we were looking at them and Method to be sort of the UK teams that actually had a chance to work their way through. Yep. More so, we were thinking that's going to be them trying to break their way back in towards that top 4 sort of spot. Right now, though, because of the way the results have gone, having their hard games first, you can kind of see that it looks like they aren't going to be able to pull their way through. They need to at least try to get a 1-1 here, because that can slow down Epsilon quite a lot.
It can work to your favor as well. I mean, I remember the first week they played versus Method, the coach, Ross, said that they were having land jitters, right? Yeah. And the fact that they were a little bit nervous on stage for the first games. And, you know what? You get your feet wet, you play the first 3 weeks on stage, you get used to it, you become more comfortable, and maybe that's what they need versus, you know, when they play versus the Reasons, the Infused, the Endpoints and whatnot, the teams that are potentially weaker.
Yeah, domestically as well. They've played those guys a million times. So in that environment, they need to be level-headed about it. It just sort of gives everyone time to gel together. We saw that issues, though, even with players like Genko. Genko, obviously, famously on the first week, fell a little bit ill before the game.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the producer in my ear just saying, player has vomited, Genko is gone.
Genko's down! And we were just like, all right.
First game of the first week, I mean, and he was that B-side player as well. So, yeah. I mean,
a flawless game, though, after that. They're very good.
Yeah, they did win, obviously, but that is about the nerves, the pressure. We mentioned before that some of these players, they skip breakfast. They want the extra hour and a half to warm up.
Yeah.
You might have a Red Bull to fill you up, but you have all that caffeine, no food. Eventually, you know, stomach doesn't play up.
Other brands' drinks are available, of course, mate.
Of course, of course. Anyway, though, second map here, Pistol. Let's take a look at the buy. Jake in there with the kit, with the smoke and diffuse kit. Hopefully gets to use that one. On their CT Pistol, they just went too fast in their retake. Forces a Kevlar will finish off the rest of that buy. And on the T side, Maeve there, smoked up a flashbang. It's looking like a fast A split. Lazar peeks towards mid, spots out that player towards middle. And now Smooya and Co towards connector. They can play this one slow. Coming up through connector now towards middle. You can see the push as well. Boaster pushing towards A long, going to scout out all of middle and towards Fountain. Might be able to catch a frag as well if any of these Ts do fall back towards T-spawn. Instead, he's going to clear party, clear toilets, and he should give the info that this is looking like it's going to be a B execute here with the smoke towards heaven and the double flashbang.
Committing to the push now as well as they want to take that short control. The smoke does come over as they funnel their way through. They need to try and get that bomb down off the back of this, but they take the fight, and Windansky actually gets the opening frag. Jacob as well comes into the fold as he punishes Barber. There's only 3 Ts left, and they're dropping by the second as Windansky does so much damage, but Freddie B, he's in a prime time angle, strikes to find 1 frag, hungry for more as he's struggling to connect the shots. He will perish, and that is going to be the first round taken by Excel.
You saw how fast that rotation is as well from the CT side. Booster gets aggressive, takes the risk, pushes A long, scouts out toilets, sees no one towards middle, and that forces the double rotation back towards B. They had the players where they needed them. Windansky as well, landing that headshot through the smoke. Having that extra player towards the site, close towards water, could have been the difference maker when the CTs were pushing from lower. So, Pistol going in their favor. Epsilon took both pistols on the last map, and that game was 16-10. Let's see if this one's closer now that Excel have finally got a pistol round on the board. Buy up. It's going to be full eco here from Epsilon on their T side. Obviously, you get the bomb down, you eco this one, you buy PT-50s, might see some light utility as well, a flashbang and smoke here or there, try to get the bomb down. Instead, no utility. Play this one slow. On a full eco like this, the dream is getting 2 to 3 kills, try and take out $8,000, $10,000 worth of investment on that CT side, and slowly but surely, at the start of the game, break down that CT bank.
That's very true indeed. And this time, though, Boaster's in a prime time angle, gets the information, he spots out Smooya as they play towards the close towards toilets. They're in a good crossfire as well. The CTs can actually hold this back quite effectively. Lazar could also get a huge amount of cash bonus off the back of this. Barbar takes the fight. That's a 3 frag. They're just going to peek 1 by 1 as well. Luckily trying to play together, but it's not really working out. Smooya eventually finds the kill, though. Boaster falls as well. This is where things go a bit sour, Snods.
They found their 2 kills. The bomb has been planted as well. This is massive right now for that take on. They can even have an AWP into the next round, Jack. But Connor equalizes to a 3 versus 3.
Have to try and retake this, get themselves back into steady ground as they want to move on. Connor doing damage as well as he starts to run rampant with a rifle, spraying for everyone. But Freddie B's in the back line, stealthily does it as he tiptoes up behind them, ready to strike. He could be such a nuisance, or worse, be able to get them actually through this round if he kills them at the right time with the bomb defuse. Jacob will tap onto it, gets the audio information, will get a tag off onto Windansky, eventually punishes him as well, but the defuse has come out, but he gets 3 frags! Freddie B tears his way through, absolute ferocity displayed by the man.
And now they're going to have to buy up as well. There's going to be no money in that CT bank. We might be seeing a UMP buy, FAMAS buy come out here. And look at that, Lazar, the only one who can really fully buy here. Have M4, kit, full utility. Apart from that, it's going to be a smoke and an HE grenade for Connor. Pause comes in. This is a good tactical pause as well. I like this because this is the round where Epsilon could win this first one, break the bank of Excel, force another force buy. That gets them to 2-2. If they win that round, eco, that should be 3-2 in favor of Epsilon, and then it's going to be all to play for Excel, right? If you're against the ropes in terms of buys, right, and you're constantly having to force, have no money, eco have, 3,800, 4,400, buy, lose, and the system and the cycle repeats. You don't want to be in that scenario. You want to be the one with the money in your hand, the money in your pocket, because Once you have CT money, or T money at that, you can take more risks, right? We saw what happened on the first buy round from Epsilon and Mirage. They had enough to full buy into the next round. That's why we saw a double push towards B-Apps. They wouldn't do that if they had to risk it all going into an eco if they lost that round.
Yeah. This is true as well. The thing is, that sort of emotional play we were talking about, if they take a dent here off the back of this round, because when you look at it in terms of their arsenal, Epsilon are in a much better buy. They have the consistency into this round. They just need to try and find the weak point, strike back through. I mean, if they can pull off a round like that when they have an eco, their full buy is going to be absolutely terrifying.
The thing is as well, right, the fact that all players died on that CT side, Epsilon know that the money will be low.
Yep.
So there's two ways you can play this. You can play this one nice and fast. You can go for a rush towards toilets, a rush towards B, expose and exploit the fact that the CTs have no Molotovs. Or you can play a slow round, wait for the CTs to bleed out all utility that they have, right? One flashbang, one smoke on Lazar, one flashbang, one smoke on Jakim. And apart from that, they have no grenades, no utility. So if Epsilon play this one nice and slow, wait until there's no more grenades left. You can see Lazar's used his smoke as well, 1 minute 20 on the clock. They can just play the contact play and exploit the fact that they have the utility and firepower advantage. 2 Phalanxes onto Boaster, Wendansky, AWP onto Lazar. 2 M4s onto Connor and Jacob. We saw a quiet game from them previously. Can they change it up into Overpass?
Early tag does get transferred over towards Boaster as well, losing around 20 HP there early. And there's the opening frag. Smooya somehow getting the wallbang off on towards Jacob. That is absolutely gruesome, Snods. They already have a one-man deficit, and the flood is coming in towards the bomb site. Flashbang's going over, the smoke's coming in as well, so they can try and go for the commit towards the site, and they can just explode their way through. They can walk in willingly. There is no active defense here for XL.
Exactly. No counter flashes, which is going to make the retake so difficult if they don't find kills. Thankfully, Barbar does full. Smooya as well. Freddy B to find Wendansky. 3 versus 3 retake now.
Boaster coming in the rear is a bit of a godsend as well, gives him something to play with, but there's the exact opposite. Maeve doing the same as he's in the back line, hungry and ready. Will spot out Lazar, but no trigger patience. He instantly will dispatch of him, takes him down, and he is ready to do so much more damage. An easy tap on towards Boaster as well. It falls into the hands of Connor, a 1 versus 2. Peeks up, spots out the first man, but can't overpower Freddy B, as he will tear him down. And Epsilon get the round. Sure, it was close, but that is so major into how this will affect the overflow of the game.
Massive round to win so early on as well into your first half. On your T side as well. Excel, they do have a solid CT defense. When they flip over to that T side where things can get a bit stale, okay? If you don't have Connor, Boaster, your 2 entry fraggers playing lights out, finding the entries, playing aggressive, opening up the sites and creating space for players like Wendansky and Lazar with the AWP, that's where things can go south. Will be the quasi buy coming up from Excel. They will be able to buy up into the next one. I believe so, anyway. AWP onto Smooya, salvage from Lazar. Boaster close range of the 5-7.
Headshot comes out from Boaster here as he will strike on the first man, knows the position of Smooya as well, and actually does take the fight towards him, punishes him. This is a huge round so far. If they can continue in this fashion, this would be amazing for XL. Lazar will be able to get off, kill the Deagle as well before he falls, but unluckily for them, Maeve has started to get some energy behind him, finds 2 kills, puts them into a more manageable situation, has found the kills into the players with weapons as well, and is now going to be smart about it. Dispatches those AK, moves them away. Jacob falling to Maeve as well here. He's been such a difference maker into the round as they fall into a 2 versus 2 against their weaponized opposition.
Exactly. Bad firepower, P250, CZ, no Kevlar as well on Wendansky. So this may be a 2 versus 2, but you have to be favoring the T's in the scenario. Excel have to split up, play that 1-for-1 defense, and Wendansky towards B only has a P250 and no Kevlar, so if he gets 1 frag, gets traded. I mean, Maeve should lead the charge here, right? Maeve, 48 HP. Then again, the Freddy B is only on 62. Fairly matched HP players remaining on Epsilon. But all that's remaining on this B side, Jack, is Wendansky. He needs to find this 1 kill play in the off angle. He has to hope that someone just walks into his crosshair and from there salvage that AK, try win that duel, but it's going to be so difficult for him to take this one.
Wendansky here. Best enough for the audio. Stop the bomb though, that would have been so massive into round, but unfortunately, Maeve will punish him, so it's all left on Connor. A 1 versus 2, a measly CZ in his hands, and nothing to try and aid him into the round as well. We'll try and take the fight through, wanted to go for the jump over, but Freddy B will snipe him out of the air, takes him down, and Epsilon do get that following round.
So, can XL buy now into round number 5? Let's take a look at Phil Wendansky. There he is. So, here we go. Buy comes out, and no, it doesn't actually. It's going to be the eco here from the CT side. Boaster has 3,000. Oh, he had 3,000. Buys a P250. Wendansky, 3,200. Lazar as well, 3,100. They will get 2,400 into the bank after this round once we go into round number 6. So we could be seeing 2 orbs potentially. But at minimum, Lazar should have the AWP to hold down Tortoise and hold down that middle position. It's going to be the 5-man pusher from the CT side. Maeve on the line.
Just trying to overwhelm the opposition more than anything, but they will be caught off instantly. They're aware of the shenanigans and will stump it out. That's 4K going through for Maeve and the rest of them heading on towards Smooth. That will be the kills coming through, but that is the eco out the way. And this is where things need to get serious again.
Yeah, remember, Maeve was on 2-12 first half of Mirage, and already he's seeing 11 kills. So basically reverting what he had, swapping the scoreline around, and that could be the difference maker for Epsilon. We saw Excel have the early advantage on T-side Mirage, where they were 8-4 up, and somehow they let it slip to 8-7. They lost pistol, and it was like 14-8 when they won that round with the eco with Lazar. But this is a team where, for Excel, a momentum-based team, if they lose this second buy round here, Epsilon could definitely take things away, have the momentum in their favor, and roll over the CT defense of Excel. But round number 6 now, 5 AK set up here for Epsilon on their T side, AWP onto Lazar, 4 M4s as well to back him up. Let's see if he's playing aggressive, holding off towards A long, but no one on the CT side is holding towards toilets, so 3 players towards A, none of them holding mid and toilets. Just Jake at the jump spot and he gets spotted out.
You will be aware of Maeve's position, but can they actually take him down? They're going to just try and go for the wide face. Jacob actually caught out in the open, though, so Lazar can respond, but it's already too late now as the full players come down towards the B1 side. They cordon it off with smokes, all the CTs zoned out, but they're finding frags. Connor, in the elevated angle, will pick off Smooya, leaving them in a good position to attempt to retake this. They do have some utility as well, and the HE on Boaster. This could still be a massive round, but Freddie B and Barbar start to tear their way through, picking off Lazar and Connor. This has gone so far south now, as they just need to have essentially a flawless round at this point. Boaster coming in from the rear though.
3 versus 2. Kits on both players. A flashbang's all they really have on this retake. They're going to be pushing up from short. Cosmian's low speed, there's a chance here.
Will come in, spots out the first man, but Barbar was in the prime time position. There's the frag as well from Freddie B, as he will take down Windansky. And there is no chance. It looked like it was a manageable round. Seemed like the retake would have been possible.
Exactly.
But it does not go that way.
They didn't save, and this might have been one of those scenarios where they should have. Cosmian was low, he was dinked up. The call was probably given. Connor knew he'd dink someone through the smoke, he would have heard that. So that could have been the reason why. It's a 3 versus 2, and you have someone dinked. Definitely a chance for you to win that one, but unfortunately, they were forced back onto an eco. Only bit of utility the CTs have is a smoke grenade onto Boaster, Deagles, P250s, and 5-7 onto Boasty. So this should be round number 5 here for Epsilon. This is a round where you need to try and build up your bank. Have 4 people alive, have 5 people alive on the Epsilon side. Have 3,500 to the bank. You don't want players to die here, so you have to drop them, have them rebuy utility.
Pretty big. Good angle to play with. We'll get the opening headshots as well as he picks off Jacob and Windansky, just ripping his way through that eco. Boaster, luckily enough, went on the aggressive play. Does find 1 kill and upgrade himself to an AK. So they have something to work with into the round. He can transfer that over to Lazar as well, have more HP. Boaster will fall. All on Lazar, finds the headshots. He snipes down Smooya, at least doing some damage to their economy, but unlikely he can really do too much more.
Yep, trying to get lucky shot through the smoke, but unfortunately for him, he won't find or connect any bullets. And 1 versus 3. Has no Kevlar as well, might as well save this one. Does mean you have to spend 3,100 on an M4. So that could be money that later comes back to grant them a rifle in a further round. Nevertheless though, they know exactly where Lazar is. 3 versus 1, and you've got Freddie B on his trail coming up from Connector.
Looks like he has been bypassed though, so we'll be able to hold on to that AK, keep that with him into the following round, so at least they have a little bit of an ease in their economy. Aren't going to have to burn through everything to get by.
So 5-2 as we head into round number 7. Money on that CT side is fairly decent. They have 6,000 across the board. They're going to buy up into this one, but this is the scenario that I mentioned. You don't want to be in this case where you use everything you have on each buy round. You lose that round, you're forced onto a weird quasi-buy, 3 people with armor, 2 people with no Kevlar and just pistols, and then you're forced onto an eco, because if Epsilon win this round and play well versus the ecos and the force buys, they could easily be getting to 8 here, Jack. An 8-2 scoreline, you have to be favoring Epsilon to close this one out in convincing fashion once again. Similar affair to their T-side of Mirage. Good nade there from Windansky. Does tag up Maeve 263, the star of the show so far on overpass, but Windansky gets spotted, jump spotting. Now the execute comes in, it's looking like the Astralis one where you smoke off bridge and you flash and execute towards B.
flooding their way through. Windansky trying to play around the smoke. We'll get the early tag off, but it's not quite a frag. And he's forced to fall back as well. Cosmine overpowers Connor, and the rest of the CTs are going to fall as well. All that frontline infantry dispatched instantly. And Lazar, once again, just has to try and save. Just hold on to that AWP.
It's the fast Astralis execute towards B. You smoke off the middle portion of bridge. So you don't smoke off the full portion of bridge, but like the cross between site and bridge. Molotov towards Graffiti and CT lower. You smoke heaven as well. You have 2 flashbangs, one that goes towards water and a flashbang that goes towards monster, and you flood the site. You saw how unprepared Connor and Dansky were to hold off and execute like that.
Yeah, you could just see as they just got completely destroyed. Lazar as well, trying to fight for his life here to just keep that weapon in his hands. Actually doing an awful lot of damage. He's picking off the Ts that are pushing towards him.
But once again, it's a similar affair to Mirage. He's finding these kills, but they're just exit frags. So, round number 8. When he has the AWP, okay, we've seen him hold towards A long, we've seen him hold towards mid, but he hasn't peeked mid. He hasn't pushed A long. He hasn't peeked connector. He hasn't peeked towards monster, or held an aggressive angle towards B short. A lack of aggression from that CT AWP is coming back to bite them now. 2 to 6 down, and they're going to be going for the force by Jack. So, FAMAS into Connor's hands once again. When Dansky won in the AWP, does he have the best spawn for mid? No, he's AWPing towards B, so Lazar drops the AWP over. He's back down to an M4. It's going to be the double connector play. Smoothie towards connector as well, though. So comes in towards the back of it. Still, fairly slow round tip, but both of those A players are towards connector, so that could be a position to be exploited from the T side.
Actually playing with a little bit of aggression here as well. The confidence is on show as Connor went for the contact play. Unfortunately, will lose his head, though, as Freddie B spots them out. Also now aware of Windansky's location, but he does fall back. Smoothie could actually strike as well. Boaster's just going to try and take the fight towards him. An instant headshot comes out, but luckily enough, Jacob can retaliate. But this is the real place, Nuts.
Exactly. They spot Jacob. They spot Lazar. They know that the A site is clear. And now it's coming down to the retake. The next frag really does determine who wins this round. It's all down to potentially Jacob and Barbar towards connector and toilets.
Zoned off as well, as they have forced the CTs to bend here. It just depends if they are going to be able to bounce back into the round or if they have broken because of how much time is going to be burnt away. Jacob falls, Barbar will strike to take him down. They don't have any smokes as well, just the one flash. Call has to be made. They need to get out of there.
Yep, that's an impossible round to win. The Ts have control of toilets. Yes, you may have a defuse kit. Actually, they don't as well. Wow. Yeah. So, no defuse kit, which meant the 10-second defuse, near impossible. The Ts, they're not forced to face you. You might have 2 players towards toilet, 1 player towards default, but even if you kill that first or that second player, the bomb is so far ticked. The Ts have control of toilets. They can just jiggle peek, wide face. They can double peek you as well. Very unlikely they took that round. So, 7-2 now as we go into round number 10. This might be the quasi buy here from Excel. They want to have maybe a double dot setup. We've seen Windansky opening towards B. Lazar now they're going for another buy. So 2 players staying alive. They can drop over 2 M4s. You can see M4 there onto Jacob and Windansky. They're dropped over. Connor now forced onto the SMG. Both as well, the FAMAS. Finally some aggression here from Excel Lazar as he finds the frag onto Cosmine. 5 versus 4. They finally have a man advantage. The bomb left towards T-spawn. Smoothie trying to get aggressive here, try and equalize the numbers. He knows that Lazar is towards toilets. They're not playing the double connector setup this time.
Yeah, it's a huge actual opener there from Excel. Just what they needed to try and switch things up enough into this round. Smoothie actually going to try and play through the smoke. Their flashbangs over, charges straight and gets the opener. Nearly the double kill as well. But luckily enough, Lazar was able to swiftly retaliate. Mayfall strike back as well, though, as they are left in a 3 versus 3. The A bomb site once again being hit. But the bomb is miles out of position. They've left it back towards T. So it seems like right now just playing for frag stuns, all out aggression.
Yep, Maeve now, if he finds a kill towards the A site, it's going to be Barbar though instead. Make it into a 3 versus 2. Connor with an SMG and no utility. Windansky as well. 2 versus 2 now. The CTs have a kit. 1 HP onto Windansky, but no nades.
Freddie B's in the back line. He's been able to tiptoe through, just trying to play stealthy. Is Connor aware of what's going on? Unfortunately not. Will be spotted out. Windansky left on 1 HP. All he has to his name is an M4 and a kit. He is going to be struggling to do anything into this round. They have only just grabbed the bomb as well, so there was no real reason to take the fight towards A originally.
They know exactly where Windansky is as well. He found that frag onto Maeve towards default. Epsilon, they know that this B side's clear. Barbar has a smoke as well, can smoke off short. Actually going to smoke off CT lower. And Freddie B can hold off B short and connector. It's now the 2 versus 1. He has to try to snipe off Barbar, but you can see with the cover of the smoke, he's able to go back towards connector. Sorry, monster. Now impossible round now for Windansky to win.
Yep. No way were they going to peek into him. They played it smart. They knew what you could possibly be watching, so don't face into any of those angles. Now just going to hold together so they can trade efficiently if need to do so. And Windansky Why is he going to run the risk? Don't charge in blindly, just fall back. There is no point trying to run that. Can grab Lazar's AWP as well, though, which is a bit of a silver lining into this one.
It is indeed. Freddy B now 14-2, Maeve 13-4, Cosmin 4 frags, Barbar 5, and Smear at 6. On the flip side, Lazar there leading the charge with 9, but how many of his frags have been exit kills? Talking about exit frags, though, Nensky finds one onto Freddy B. It's going to be Barbar to bring that AWP into round number 11. Some point, Excel have to give, okay? They have to forfeit and concede a round here. They've gone for 3 force buys in a row, FAMASs, UMPs, light utility. Surely now they go for the quasi buy. Surely now they eco this one. But no, once again, 2 UMPs onto Cotto and Jakim, an M4 onto Boaster, and we're seeing the double AWP setup. Let's see, who is that? Is it Lazar's peeking towards mid? He's going to spot no one. They know exactly what's going on now, Jack.
Yeah, Lazar and Windansky both went for the face towards mid. So Windansky, sorry, actually, Windansky over towards his B bomb site. I thought it was both of them going for the double pick. I was going to say it would have been terrible at this point. Luckily enough, they can still try and defend towards the B bomb site. Windansky getting the opening frag on towards Freddy B. A slight miss there. That would have been huge if he actually find the frags. That's so critical. Could have been a massive game-changing kill there to actually affect the flow of this round. But Cosmin ripping down Connor, leaving him with just 3 players remaining to attempt to retake the site. It's going to be so hard right now. Luckily enough, Boaster's in the backline. Will tear his way through Maeve, but Smooth retaliates instantly, snipes him down with the AWP. Windansky and co. all fallen away. It's just left on Jacob and Lazar. They're terrified at this point as they know this retake's going to be hard. So many good angles in play by Epsilon. They've pushed their way up. They're playing up close and personal. They're going to spot out Jacob as well, rattling off those bullets to keep him at bay. He can't quite efficiently take the fight, will be overwhelmed. And Lazar going to have to save once again, consistently trying to recycle these AWPs.
This is the problem though. I mean, they're saving every single round. So they have 1 gun, 2 guns in their arsenal, and then they're forced to go for the force play because they can drop over weapons. And it's caused them to be in such a rut. Lazar now, Barbar underhand flashes in, but before the flash does bloom, Lazar will find the frag. Smee holding the angle as well, might face towards him, but why give away the AWP instead? Round number 12, 9-2 in favor of Epsilon. And remember, the pistol went in favor of Excel.
Yeah.
Epsilon winning 9 rounds on the trot. Once we go back into game, can we see the round feed, Sliggy, or how the rounds have shaped up? No, we can't apparently, but still. Thing is, 9 rounds in a row for Epsilon. Still, this is the round where they concede. They're going to allow Epsilon to get to 10 rounds, 10-2. You can see Jacob there, no Kevlar. Windansky, no Kevlar, just a deagle. They're going to play for the 10-5. If they get 10-5 on their CT side, win that second pistol, there's a chance, Jack. The problem is, this isn't Mirage, where they have a stronger T than they do with CT. This is over.
They're so slim as well right now, especially when you just pushed into the unknown like that. Freddy B going to rip his way through him, building up that hype behind him as well. Boaster could actually be a bit of a nuisance, a thorn in their side possibly here, as he is going to play around the smoke. Cosmin will get the drop on him in the end and can rattle him down with his rifle. JKM and Lazar the only 2 left. Once again, Lazar probably just going to have to try and play for the save at this point. Stick himself towards A site, keep himself alive. Jacob actually does strike, finds an opening headshot, but there's the retaliation kill. Dispatched by Cosmin.
I think you've seen this scenario before, Jack.
Yep, the old Lazar save. He's just going to have to try and keep himself alive. Obviously, trembling his boots right now as they can try and take the fight towards him. Epsilon, they're pretty well off, so they can try and pick him off.
He is the only one that saved a gun, obviously. Yep. He found that frag onto Barbar towards A long, so we did salvage this one into round number 12. Oh, Smee could go for the knife here.
He is going to go for the knife as well. Smee just toying with him right now. This is so awkward, Lazar. He peeks up, says peekaboo and takes him down.
So what I'm trying to say is, you have 1 gun in your arsenal, the AWP on Lazar's hands, and he's still the last one alive. Surely you play aggressive. We saw Smee when he had the last AWP on Mirage. He peeked towards B, he pushed B, he found 2 frags for his side, and that's how they won that round. Lazar is constantly last alive with the most important and impactful gun, the AWP. I don't want to flame him, obviously, but is it just positionally poor? Is this why he's always last alive? Like, when you have the AWP, you want the early round aggression, find your team the advantage early on. The AWP is so poor in the retakes, you want to have that man advantage with at least 1 minute left on the clock. Why is he always last alive?
It's true. He needs to try and switch things up here. They have actually passed that double AWP setup over towards Jacob as well, so he has the secondary AWP into this. A lot of long control taken early from Epsilon.
It's a good read, though. Long control from Epsilon and a B stack potentially from Excel. They had 3 towards A on the prior buy rounds. This time they have 3 towards B, but Jacob playing the rotate role with the AWP. We'll rotate back towards A now, so it will be 3 CT players towards his A site. Smee holding towards Bank. He knows where Lazar is. Freddy B as well entering toilets, about to match Boaster.
Smooya just waiting for the peak to come through. Unfortunately, will adjust his aim at just the wrong time, giving Luzza the leeway he needs to get out of that awkward angle. Here comes the push, though. All of the T's ready to burst their way out. The first frag will go the way of them as well, and the follow-up frag. Freddy B doing damage. Luzza needs to be such a nuisance, has to hold them back and buy his teammates time to rotate over. Wanted to get that kill onto Freddy B, who's already pushed into the backline so swiftly, but tries to straggle towards Smooya, misses out. Smooya just bounces his way down like a lunatic. Will find the headshot back towards Luzza, just leaving it alive on Connor and Windansky. The Irishmen forced to fall back, just have to stay alive, hoping they can at least do some damage if the push comes towards them. Windansky already on the angle. Connor trying to trade with him efficiently, but they can't even trade. Unfortunately, Smooya will tear through Connor, and they both fall.
Epsilon exploiting the very passive CT setup we're seeing right now from Excel. Both the players, all three players in fact, playing towards site. Luzza with the AWP isn't holding towards Banana, isn't holding towards toilets. He's instead Bank, holding the off angle towards long. The problem with holding that angle towards Bank is you can walk up from the right side, you make the jump onto the flower bed, you can cross, you can walk up right side long, out of vision, and then suddenly there's an execute, 5 Ts in front of your face. You have no idea because you're playing so passive. No one on the A side playing for formation. Luzza's there towards Bank. Boaster's alone towards Banana. Very strange CT setups towards their A side. If this was Smooya on the CT side, he'll be playing towards toilets, he'll be peeking mid, he'll be peeking connector, playing towards Banana. This passive setup run out from Luzza, and that CT side isn't paying dividends. Finally, some aggression. Jacob finds the first kill.
Jacob gets the double kill as well, actually. He's able to swing around. The only downside is Cosmine was always there, lying in wait for the right moment to strike. Will be able to come in with a backstab. Boaster actually does damage as well. They are picking them off. Epsilon left down to 1 member, only whittled down to Freddy B, and even though he is alive, he's without his pack. He has to go huge on his lonesome, was unaware of Connor's location, does get killed. But that's 1 round in a million right now.
4 staying alive for that CT side should be important, right? This is a round where they should be building up their bank. The problem is, that was the penultimate round. This is the final round. This isn't about how much money you have. It's about rounds on the board. Epsilon have 11. Excel on 3. Epsilon win this final round here, make it 12-3, win pistol. This game, is near enough done. Once again, Excel, 3 players towards A. It's going to be Jacob going aggressive towards connector once again. We've got Luzza peeking towards mid, get flashed off the angle, and then Boaster towards long toilet. So, will the first kill go in favor of Excel once again, or will they concede the entry kill to Epsilon?
Flash peeking their way over, want to try and take that long control. This has been their bread and butter quite consistently as they want to make their play up towards that A bomb site. The thing is, Boaster is in position. Slow walking through, he's not actually going to hear those audio cues, so he might not take the fight towards it. A bit paranoid about the smoke. Will spot out the barrel and finds the head of Maeve as well, but will he be able to respond that over? Can do, gets the double kill towards Freddy B. This is a great opening, a huge start for Excel into this round, as it all falls down towards Cosmine in a matter of seconds.
Finally, some CT aggression pays off. 3-man towards A. 3 men, sorry. As they do make a good read versus Epsilon. If Epsilon went for the fast play instead towards B, they could have seen 12 rounds on the board, but Cosmine on the 1 versus 4 has 50 seconds on the bomb, so can't rule him out just yet.
Still trying to play a right fight now, as he just wants to back away. Has been able to scavenge the bomb. Jacob's in position, does have the angle covered, just depends if he can somehow pull this off. Will turn him at the right time, just when Jacob was trying to retreat. Good timing, actually in his favor there. Makes his play over towards B as well. Still going to try and run the risk and attempt to pick up this round. Windansky watching the cross. Will find the kill though.
11-4. Excel win pistol and only managed to conjure up 2 extra rounds in the buy rounds. 11, was it 9 rounds of the trot? Or was it 10 rounds?
9 rounds, I think.
Yeah, I believe it was. So 9 rounds, 1 in a row for Epsilon on their T side overpass. Luzza there has the smile, so that's good for them around potentially. Who knows? This pistol though is so prevalent. If they lose this second pistol, right? They won the first one and they got nothing off the back of that. They had no momentum following that into the buy rounds. If they win the second pistol, right, 11-4, they're on their T side. Win versus the force buy from Epsilon. Win versus the eco as well. We could be seeing an 11-7 scoreline. In that scenario, if they try and do what Epsilon did to them, break their economy, force them to have these weird quasi-buys where they have 2 SMGs, a FAMAS, 1 AWP, 2 M4s and 2 5.7s or whatnot, then there could be a chance for them to bring this one back. The problem is it's all about the economy. It's all about the money. They can't allow Epsilon to take this first pistol. Second pistol, sorry. But anyway, we are live, round number 16. Buy coming out from Excel on their T side. Jacob going to be wielding the utility. Smoked by flashbang. And on that CT side is going to be Did he, wait, why has Barbar got no Kevlar? Did he forget to buy?
Oh, I've gone for the save there.
Yeah, he has.
So
Yeah, he
they
just
had
forgot to buy, so. Only Kevlar on 2 players. Sorry, 3 players, and one of them does fall. Smooya falling straight away to Lazar's Glock. 5 versus 4 now, 1 minute 35 on the clock, and now the CTs are scared. They're pushing towards mid. Barbar has all the information he needs. That should mean Freddie B rotates back towards B, potentially. The problem is they know this player's in connector, and already they're pushing onto B.
Barbar getting into the backline is still going to be used, but the thing is, it has kind of been blindsided at this point as the rotate can come through. Luckily enough, Cosme, though, is able to pick up the players that have slipped on towards the bomb site. That is so massive. He is the difference maker now, as they've actually been able to pull off that defense, but the true attack heading over towards A now. The trio of Excel sprinting their way in towards the bomb site are going to go for the bomb commit as well. Jacob will get it down. Windansky pops the head of Barbar, trying to cut them off. Jacob as well, ready to respond. An easy headshot on towards Cosme. It all falls in the hands of Maeve. He has the kit, and he has smoke to play with as well, but he's just got to take the fight. It's brute force right now, as he's so up close and personal with them. Close line infantry trying to get that first frag off, but it's a struggle. Jacob just toying with him. He knows he's got potential to trade as well. Will take him down, but he can't commit to the bomb plant. Has to go for the smoke and then jump on it. And the T's can just rattle into it, attempt to pick it off. It's a little bit short as well. We'll jump onto it. They're just ramping off those shots, and Lazar will take him down.
Both pistols, 1 right now for Excel. If they lost that one, that could have been it. Clutch pistol around there. Lazar finds that first frag towards Smooya from connector. From there, they managed to clinch it back in the 1 versus 3. 5 to 11 will be the scoreline now. Let's see how they force this one. It's going to be the force play on the CT side. Maeve, of course, has a Deagle and the HE grenade. He has $1,100 in the bank, so he can drop over an AWP to Barbar or Smooya. Be interesting to see who does AWP onto the buy rounds. But you can see Barbar and Smooya in connector, which means they should be the players towards A. When I watched Epsilon in Premier play overpass, it was Maeve and Smooya towards that A site, so it'll be interesting to see if they have actually changed up their CT defense. Barbar trying to make it 5 versus 4 though, onto Windansky.
Windansky here peeks out at the right time. We'll find the opening headshot on towards Smooya. No trade potential as well. Barbar a little bit spooked, is forced to fall back as he is just going to try and waddle out there, at least stay alive into the round. The push coming through, the CT is very hesitant into this round. They're just trying to use their aggression against the Excel. They're getting tagged down quite low. Mac 10 comes into play with Jacob as well. If he gets this kill, it'll be a nice cash maker, but unfortunately Barbar does overpower him.
He does indeed. 4 versus 4. Kevlar on 3 of these CT players, but they are fairly low HP. 2 bullets from these AKs on the T side should be able to bring them down. Frag found from Connor to do enter into the speed bombs.
Pushing their way through. Connor going to rip his way through with the glove. Get them the opener. Hungry trying to do some more damage, but these pistols are actually coming out pretty good right now. It's starting to look like Epsilon do still have a chance, even though the odds are stacked heavily against them. Freddie B with the CZ as well chimes in, taking down Connor. That's a massive frag. Leaves him in a 2 versus 2 that could potentially be manageable, but luckily enough, Windansky strikes out of nowhere, pops in from the rear, and we'll find that opening frag. But Barbar finds the kill towards Boaster. Boaster look confused about his location, as they are left in the 1 versus 1 snots.
Bring around the rosies. Barbar coming in from Monster. Does Windansky expect this? He hasn't even got the bomb yet. HE in hand. Maybe caught off guard from the aggression here from Barbar.
Barbar, Deagle in hand, just going to try and pull off the frag with the Deagle, and he will actually get the first tag out. Windansky somehow staying alive, switched out to the Mac 10. He knows he's so low, it'll take 1 bullet, and he will dispatch him. Comes out in the clutch, will find the frag. Somehow they let it slip. It looked like that was Excel's round to win, and it just slips away from them.
That should be game over. 5 to 12 now. Excel broke as well, as they are forced into this buy. Use whatever's left in their bank. 4 Tech 9s. Windansky has yet to buy. Obviously, head in his hands, he knew exactly how important that round was to win. If they won that one, the 1 versus the force buy, 6 to 11. That would have forced Epsilon on a fully. Could be favouring the T's there. 7 to 11 could have been the scoreline, but instead, the quasi buy, the pistols once again on that CT side. We saw the same with Mirage is carrying forward into Epsilon. Such a highly individually skilled team, and it's showing so.
Push coming through as they want to try and take map control. Once again, just going to hit them hard and fast. They do have a little bit of utility to play over. Small sprinkling though, it's not too much to write home about, as they are waiting for the right time to strike here. Smooya in position could be such a massive nuisance, those nods.
Could indeed. Depends how Excel play this, right? If they play it slow, Smooya finds 1 kill, falls back towards the site, the round could be as good as done. If they group together and swarm these 2 players towards Banana, then there could be a chance.
They've actually gone for the fake as well. The smoke's over towards B. We've seen them go for this strategy before, and it did cause a slight rotate. They shuffled around on the side of Epsilon, but Smuya's new position could be even more favorable as he finds the headshots, tearing his way through them. It's so easy for him. That's a hat-trick coming out with Barbar finding one kill towards Jchem as well. Windansky has been able to tiptoe his way on towards B, but he doesn't even have the bomb to get away with at least some extra cash to give them something to play with. He's all there on his lonesome. No one's going to be there to greet him. It's just a matter of time before he gets taken down.
You can see lifeless posture there on the Excel side. Those players have no momentum. They don't look too fired up. And you can see the game slowly slipping away in front of their eyes. It should be 13-5 here. Windansky with 20 seconds left. Trying to take a gun out of the CT's hands to try save it. Hope that someone does rotate towards B, and they have done just that.
Windansky peeks through. It is going to be Freddie B to find him and execute him. At least he didn't die after time.
Yeah, exactly. That
Only
could have been
redeeming
awful.
factor.
Yeah. So there is still a chance here for Excel potentially. Still though, 5-13. Look at that aim. Smuya playing versus a rush in a potential one for done position. Very risky, right? He finds that first kill onto Boaster. Should be traded, but he lands 2 clinical headshots. And does salvage the round. Eco here from Excel. They're going to concede round number 14. This is big here. 5-14 should be the scoreline. The thing is as well, right? If you eco this round, you're allowing the CTs to build up so much money into the next one.
This is true, and this could be counting this out around as well. Actually, somehow Smuya gets taken down. He should have been able to find those opening frags, but Connor overpowers him with that PT-50.
Yep. Goes for the A-long aggression. He anticipates a buy from Excel. Doesn't think they're going to be on eco. Then again, right? When you do play that A site, you are supposed to play together. 2-2. Double play connector. Double play toilets. Double play A-long, right? Have that bait set up, one towards rock, one towards the flower beds back there. Towards the back of long. Instead, though, Smuya alone just runs down A-long and gives away the advantage.
Freddie B could be caught with his pants down. Boaster has been able to get up behind him. He's playing it smart as well, quite stealthily, but luckily enough, Jchem will actually strike before Boaster even needs to do anything. So they get themselves another weapon to play with, scavenge that M4 and add that to their own arsenal.
All remaining players from this T side towards mid in the 5 versus 3. M4 in Boaster's hands. Jchem has an AK in his arsenal, but no Kevlar. One spray from this M4 could lock off any aggression that comes from Excel. Barbar here, spotting Jchem. It's going to be Maeve to find the kill there, so they don't actually know Barbar's towards the toilets. Now Maeve can peek towards A-long and maybe find what's left of this T side.
Massive as well, as that could actually come back to haunt them as they don't have as much information as they think they do. Luzza strikes, will take down Maeve. Barbar with a flashbang over, can try and strike early. That UMP in close range could be so annoying as he will get the opening frag and the follow-up as well. Getting 2 kills off the back of that is huge. This buys Cosmin enough time to attempt to get into position, to try and make this retake that much easier.
Windansky staying on the site as well. There's no one towards toilets currently, which means they will get spotted as they cross back.
Windansky so low from that as well. The Molotov will go out. This stops him from being able to actually peek efficiently. And the nade rolling in. If Windansky would have been even closer, the splash damage would have taken him down. He's actually going for the offensive approach. Cosmin just taking the fight straight towards them. No smoke, those nods. He has to just tap the bomb and hope they peek into him. They're playing it smart. Windansky will face on his lonesome. Boaster just playing it for the right time and time ticking away. Cosmin, you can see frustrated, there's no peek coming through. Boaster stays alive as well. He has to just go for the full commit now. 2 seconds. Boaster not going to peek. There's the defuse coming through. Epsilon, they pull it out.
Boaster on 4 HP. He's so worried that if he goes for jiggle peek, exposes his shoulder, 1 bullet there from Cosmin's M4 would take him down. So instead, scared, doesn't face. And the cowardly approach puts Epsilon to round number 14. Yes, their money's low. You can see the only person here with money is Cosmin after surviving that round. Yeah. But money isn't the factor right now. 14-5. 2 more rounds for Epsilon. 1 more for a guaranteed overtime. Excel need 10 to force that OT. They need 11 if they want to close this one outright. And they can't concede any rounds. 11-0 on their T side after the way they've been playing today. I don't think it's going to happen, Jack. This is looking like a 2-0 for Epsilon. Still though, the buy comes in. Boaster keeps the M4 over. 3 AKs apart from that, and then the AWP one to Luzza. And that CT side is going to be Smuya wielding the AWP towards Banana. You can see how much more aggressive he is with the AWP towards the middle portion of the map. I'm talking about aggression. Cosmin peeks towards Monster and does lose that duel towards Windansky.
Windansky as well, though, knocked down to below 50 HP, so it will come back to haunt him a little bit, but as long as he stays alive, that's the most important factor. Keep that manpower to play with. Maeve, he's in a good angle, quite effective if they do go for this play over towards mid, try and gain toilet control. He can trade quite efficiently with his teammate as well, so it is going to be scary.
Yep, smooth as well towards Banana. It's almost as if they've got 3-man set up towards this A side. Can't get spotted. Maeve here, playing the off ankle, might be able to catch a player off guard.
They do have all the information. The teams are aware 2 players are in there, so they can try and strike. They play as a unit, find both of those kills. Maeve and Barbar are eliminated. Now you just leave it in the hands of Smooth and Freddie B. Probably 2 of the star players on the sides, the ones you do not want to be going up against in these types of situations. But Freddie B's forced out of position. The Molotov keeps him at bay. A very awkward firefight comes through as well, where Jacob is just playing with him right now before he will eventually finish him off. Takes him down, and it all comes into the hands of Smooth, trapped towards the A-bomb site.
Yep, this should be a save hit. But you know what Smooth is like. Let's see if he's going to go for the extra frags. Is slowly walking, scoped in towards lower. Money will be low on the Excel side. That's with the first one. Jacob finds the frag onto Smooya, and that's going to be 14-6.
Trying to bring it back. They're trying to keep themselves going, but it's so tight as well. And even if they make one mistake,
it's overtime, guaranteed, yeah. So, round number 21. It's going to be the, well, as I say, Eco. Barbar, Maeve, Cosmin and Freddie B, all forcing up apart from Smooya. Caster's Curse, as I say that as well. $800 in the bank of Owen Butterfield. Deagles across the board apart from Cosmin saved M4. Or bought up M4, sorry. First frag goes in favor of Excel. Connor does win that duel versus Barbar. 1 Deagle out of the hands of the CTs. 3 players towards the T-spawn side of B. Bomb as well. Bomb was not spotted when Barbar peeked towards Monsters. That's good for Excel. Not showing that hand just yet. And they have the man advantage if they just group together, play the trade game. Even if someone 1-deags one of the Excel side, just have a fast trade approach to this round. You can see the slowly approaching Monster. It's Freddie B here with the Deagle. Cosmin, the only person with some real firepower, is towards Graffiti up. So this could be here, the round. Epsilon.
Pushing their way through, Freddie B will get the opener. As always, the show-stopping kill will shut down Connor with the opening Deagle frag. Cosmin as well in position. He could have been massive. If he would have actually done some damage to that M4, that's when it would have been a very sketchy round. But luckily enough, Excel playing it smart. They have good positional power. They are able to work their way back through. It all falls in the hands of Maeve, who's not in a great position. We'll get the early tag on towards Lazar. Lazar actually pushes into the blindness, looking at the bomb out as well as he went for the push. So it's now Jake and Windansky to try and claw this back. They are in a good position, but they just need to go for the frag, really. Take the aggressive stance. Windansky perched himself up, and will find the kill on towards Maeve.
Yep, AWP is saved. Not really too much Maeve can do there without Kevlar. Has the M4, but can't really duel those players unless they do a Lazar. And just run into the site. But still, 7-14 now. Epsilon still doubling the scoreline of Excel. They are going to go for the full eco. So this is the way in which you do have these comebacks happen, right? You break the bank of the CT side. Yeah. They've won the buy round, they've won versus the force buy, and now they're going to have this free eco round. You would hope so anyway. Buying up the 3 HEs. They are going to lead towards middle, but it doesn't really connect too much damage.
Yeah. All out swarming their way through. They do get behind Jacob as well, so you imagine they will be able to overpower him, but luckily enough, he can turn on a dime, start to find these headshots. It does go in his fashion as he finds a 3K here to stop that aggressive mid play, make it the 4K as well as he's just tearing his way through. It all falls into the hands of Smooya, just with a USP. Could be the ace coming out for Jake M here as he is just waiting for the kills to come his way.
Stat padding versus the unarmored opponents. Not quite the ace. Smooya does get that kill. Bomb is planted. This is going to be 14-8 now as things get a little bit closer. We saw Mirage. The scoreline was 16-8 as well, and then eventually the ending scoreline was 16-10. So for Excel, they haven't really crossed that hurdle, right? The scoreline was 15-9, and at match point, Excel won a round, but still they did end up losing it and conceding that final round. They need to get over the hurdle of that 10, or that double digits, basically. Nice and clean anti-eco from Jacob. Problem is, though, money isn't really a big factor here, as Epsilon just need 2 more rounds to close this one out. Round number 23, we're going to be seeing another buy round here in the second half. 4 AKs on the Excel side. AWP as well onto Lazar. Maeve getting a bit aggressive towards mid, chucks out the HE. Don't think the HE is going to really do too much damage. It's probably going to explode above any T players if there were any towards mid. So, in terms of the kills, 21 onto Freddie B. Smooya and Barbar not quite showing up as they did into the previous map. 12 kills for him, and then 9 there for Connor. So Fairly weak performance from him in both of these games. Connector control from the T side. It's actually quite important to have this, right? Once you have control of connector, you can get a flash over from playground towards mid. That does help in taking control of the toilets. Also have number 4, who's that Wendansky flash B short for you, so you can crunch B short from sewers and connector. Instead, they're going to go for the first option and flash towards mid, but the flash does not blind Smooya as he finds the entry with the orb onto Connor. Now they smoke off toilets. Excel, 1 man disadvantage, 50 seconds on the clock. They're going to have control of toilets, so there could be something to play with. If you own Banana and you own toilets on your T side, then you can execute. And you can see Lazat lining up smokes, Jacob as well. So look like they might execute towards A, but Wendansky, outside monster, could try and sell as much as a fake as possible.
He is as well. We've seen this so much. As soon as Epsilon get that opening frag on the board, this is where it is their playground. They should be able to work their way back through. But Wendansky equalizes the situation, finds the headshot towards Cosme as they make their slow play, just storming the site now. They do actually rotate off. Yeah, they've given away the A bomb site. This is huge. They can go for the commit. Lazar as well catches off Smooya. Maeve's going to fall. This is somehow turned into a great round for Excel off the back of what was quite shaky. Freddie B's coming in from the rear, going to rotate over. But he realized he's just going to cut his losses here, just try and back off. Barbar as well, doing the same as they just need to stay alive and save. Their economy is very fragile, so it makes sense. This is going to be 9 rounds on the board here for XL.
I think the game plan there from Epsilon was, if Freddie B died to Wendansky, they would save, right? That's why they stayed on the A site. The fact that Freddie B found that kill, and suddenly the afterplant, the retake was winnable, they're like, okay, let's go for it. But they thought it was B. Good fake there from Wendansky. He finds that first frag, and if you find the entry towards one of the sites you're faking, that usually does draw over at least one of the rotators towards that site. Instead, though, it worked so great, it brought in all 3 players. That could have also been a risk stack as well. Once you do have so many rounds as a buffer, you can start to take more risks, okay? Stack 4 to a site. I remember Gambit, we're talking about this, Zeus said that if you are in like a 6-7 round advantage, you can just start stacking sites on your CT side, right? It's 50-50. You can play 3 men towards A, 1 towards B, have someone towards Heaven, 3 players towards A, 1 for a fast rotate at Heaven, then have your solo B player anchor that site, and just risk that eventually 1 out of these 7 rounds, they are going to go towards A.
You just pick it up against the easy ones in the back. Maeve's going to miss the opening deagle shot as well as he is forced to retreat. Smooya also very low. An opening spam tagging him down. They have gone for the stack. They've committed themselves towards that B bomb site. 4 players there. Maeve trying to get information towards mid. Now we did only spot 1 player. So they don't know this is a full play towards mid just yet.
They don't indeed. Maeve towards long toilets. Only man on this A side. It's going to be the 4 players on the CT side from Epsilon to stack towards B. Smooya the outside connector, hoping that Connor will open the door. Actually, the door is open. He's hoping Connor will walk into his crosshair. Instead, there's no real point. We saw what happened on Mirage. Excel versus those ecos. Barbar, Smooya, Freddie B landing 1 Deeks, double dinks with the CZs, finding entries on their CT side Mirage on the ecos. When Excel playing passive. We saw Sunny as well on the desk mention that it just wasn't good enough. He's right in that regard. There's 2 ways you can play anti-ecos. You can play them fast, have a 5-man rush up mid, 5-man rush towards B, and hope they don't stack. Or you can play it slow, which does counter stacks typically. And the fact that Epsilon have stacked 4 towards B, but someone's rotated back towards A, they've made the right call here.
That slow play now. They start to swarm their way on towards the bomb site. Need to hope they can bar the opposition actually get in. Barbar just trying to stay alive right now, spamming through the smoke, hoping that he can keep himself in the round long enough for him to rotate over to support him. No, Poster was close, does tag him, but can't actually convert into the frag just yet as the retake does start to swan their way back in, hoping to recover this site. It's going to be very awkward. Luz is in position as well. He's just scoped in, fully committed towards the bomb. If they peek into his crosshairs, we'll be able to get these opening frags. We're getting a lot of information off the back of this. We'll go for the opening pot shot, but nothing just yet. Jacob there trying to support as well. Swings wide, finds the head of Smooya. There's the double kill. Boaster will fall, but luckily enough, Luzzer will actually overpower Cosme in there, and Barbar has to go for the save. So it's very awkward on Epsilon's half. That is going to be 10 rounds now secured for XL. They're working their way back through, and they're starting to get momentum. That's the critical factor.
So, Barbar not able to save the AK. Puts us into a much closer game. Still, they are at 14. Still have a long way to go. It's going to be 14 to 10. 4 rounds separating these 2 teams. Excel in a 4-round deficit, round number 25. Double orb setup right now coming up from Epsilon. Barbar and Smooya warding those weapons. On the flip side, on that T side, it's going to be Luzzer with the orb and 4 AKs. So, What's their game plan here? Are they going to play for double aggression with the AWPs, like we saw Excel do? One towards mid, one towards B. It's looking like we are. Barbar towards B short, mirroring exactly where Windansky was with his AWP. And Smooya peeking towards mid. Maeve as well. They're playing the double side. They might go for the boost here and peek towards stairs. This might catch Lazar off guard.
We're going to go for the elevated boost again. Corrupt angle. He finds the frag on towards Lazar as well. Already, they take the early advantage.
4 versus 5. This is the first time we've seen Excel back against the ropes with a one-man disadvantage. It was constantly them getting the first kill and then winning off of the back of that. And now they really have to show what they're capable of with the disadvantage and still bring it through. They win this round. They force Epsilon to another eco. This could be 12 to 14. And from there, things get so close. This is the round to play for. Still, it's going to be Jacob alone towards A. Has the Molotov double flashbang. Going to see if he can sell as much of a fake as possible. But instead, he has no smokes. He can't fake the execute. It's going to be 3 players from Monster. Bomb as well. And Jacob slowly coming through connector. 3 players on this B side for Epsilon. They should be able to hold this one.
Cosme, over by Toxic, needs to be a powerhouse into the round, but Connor dispatches him instantly. A swift shot to give them the opening chance they need now as they push their way back through. They're at a level ground, 4 versus 4, but the crossfires are in position. The defense is already locked down towards the B-bomb site. Barbar is going to be a nuisance with the AWP if they try and cross from short, but luckily enough, they can catch off the rotate here. Maeve, he's been locked down by Jake. Jake can just roam up nice close, try and rip his way through with the AK. Meanwhile, Boaster finds the head of Smooya as well, dispatched him. This is looking good so far for Excel. There are signs of it actually starting to chip away though. If they can keep hitting it, they're finding these small chinks in the armor. They can keep trying to play their way through, but Boaster could be so huge. Just needs to play off audio cues. Luckily enough, he was blind, so Freddie B can take him down. They do start to fall. It all comes into the hands of Connor, and Freddie B will pull off the retake. It looked like it was Excel's round, but the retake comes through. Epsilon get themselves the match point.
Huge round 1 there for Epsilon. Puts them onto match point now. 5 rounds is what they can concede. Excel, they have a chance to break and reset the round loss bonus for Epsilon. So for them, this is doable. You can see Freddie B, the man of the hour. He finds the kill onto Boaster. As soon as Boaster died there, he didn't wide face towards toilets. This is the problem, right? They have control of the site. They have water control as well, but no one was playing that headshot angle towards Cubby. And that meant the CTs could push from lower and swarm the site and play the trade game once the flash came in. Mazza anticipates Smooya's move, catches him off guard. The AWP duel won, but it's a 1 too late. This time, Excel have the man advantage. They can try and break the bank of the CT economy. Win this round, 11 to 15. Force Epsilon to a force buy, win that, 12 to 15. Force the eco, 13 to 15. And then there's a real chance for Excel to bring this one back. But they have to win 5 on the trot.
Really need to get themselves into a stable standpoint right now. Maybe such a nuisance as well. Will swing wide, gets 2 frags, all headshots right now as he's just tearing his way through. Boaster can fire back, but already they're in a big deficit, leaving themselves in a 3 versus 3.
Dansky once again towards B. We saw him have success before when he found the entry frag towards Cosme. This time though, known for the Romanian, as he is on the SMG. 2 M4s done to Freddie B and Barbar. Still a very close round. It's all down to Barbar here towards A long.
Boaster trying to take this fight through. Barbar aware of his location. He's hearing all these footsteps. He's hearing him leap around, so he is ready to strike. Boaster can set up some utility as well. If Barbar plays it right, peeks at the correct time. We'll find the headshot. That is a free frag he gets away with into what could be the penultimate round here. Oh, Freddie B also takes down Lazar in the meantime, leaving it just into Windansky in a 1 versus 3. He's got the rifle to play with, so it's 20 seconds on the clock, but this should be Epsilon actually closing it down right here, right now.
Bomb in the open as well. Has to try to salvage that one. You can see the face comes in from Barbar. Windansky's not happy about that one. 0-2 for them. Epsilon take it on both maps, Mirage and Overpass. Slow start, of course, on Mirage, but as soon as they found their footing, on their T side, they just rolled over the CT defense of Excel, and the same was said for Overpass. Today we saw some very weak CT sides from Excel. Hopefully next week they can show something different.
Yeah, it's true. CT sides are definitely what let them down in that point, but Epsilon working their way through. They do pick up a 2-0. Their first 2-0 so far of the Elite Series, obviously going 1-1 in both of their previous games.
Versus Reason and Method. And now versus Excel, they do have that 2-0. It'll be interesting to see as well once they finally play Prophecy or Envious Academy, how those games go. But so far for them, they've been getting wins each week.
Yeah, looking good as they work their way through. That's huge, though, actually getting out that 2-0. Excel, unfortunate for them, but they've always got to just try and improve, come back next time, and work their way on the up and up. But let's throw it back over to Tom, see what the analyst thought of that spectacular matchup.
It was a spectacular matchup indeed. Thank you very much, Jackie. Thank you, Snods. Listen, 16-10 on Mirage, 16-10 on Overpass, all in the favour of Epsilon. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll have a quick break, then we'll come back. We'll get the thoughts from SEO and Harold and myself.